Good morning. We are just getting set up with the live stream here. The paddlers are not racing to the start. I think everyone is moving pretty slowly. There was actually a paddler who was not even at the start a few minutes ago. I think he is there now. So this is not going to be the speediest start you have ever seen, but let's see how they go. I'm really looking forward to seeing how some of the paddlers pace, especially Chris Davison, who is on SUP, and he was really speedy last year. And so relative to some of the other stand-up paddleboarders, because they just haven't raced against each other yet at the start, and it might give a bit of an indication as to how fast he's going to be throughout the event today. We've got several K1 paddlers who are going off on this first start. Let me see if we can get some camera for you. Hello, hello. There we go. All right. So here we are at the start. I had the start list up just a moment ago, so you should be able to see what that looks like. So there's 4 stand-up paddleboarders today. There's Chris. There we go. So that is Chris Davison just warming up. And then we've got one of the stand-up paddleboarders there too. Sorry, one of the K1 guys. So it's interesting because last year it was almost all stand-up paddleboarders at the start, and this year we have like a pretty good mix between stand-up paddleboarders and kayakers. I think that a lot of the K1 solo paddlers probably looked at the 2 p.m. start list and decided, you know, this is maybe not my speed. I'll say hello on the camera so you can see me. I'm gonna be right behind so you can see the view of the paddlers warming up. And it seems to me, I think it's a pretty sensible decision. It means that they can sort of take it a little bit easier with the start, which should help just in terms of, you know, when those relay crews go off later. They went off last year at a pretty high pace. And I spoke with Harry Gilbert, Isaac Blackman, you know, a couple of the guys who are going to do that 2 p.m. start with the relay crews, who are really quick. And they are definitely worried about going off on such a fast start. So I think it's pretty sensible that we've got some of these K1ers who know that they're not going to be at the top speed, who've decided to join the 10 a.m. start. And it's not so much that it should create issues for the stand-up paddleboarders, I don't think. If you're just tuning in, I am Betsy with Paddle Daily, Paddler Media, SUP Racer, and I will be your lead commentator today. We've got a few other people who are going to hop. You are currently seeing the paddlers warming up right now for the start of the Thames 200 Ultra. So they'll be racing 200 kilometers down the length of the Thames. So we are right now here in Lechlade, which is the start of the navigable Thames River. Navigable, I believe, is actually defined according to canal boats navigation. So I've got the camera right now pointed upriver. And so that is actually, you can see it's completely paddleable upriver from here, but it is pretty narrow. So that's why Lechlade is considered that start of the navigable Thames. And then it finishes in Teddington, which is the end of the non-tidal Thames, because of course that is where we get the tideway coming in below Richmond. Or above, yeah, Richmond and below, potentially. So yeah, we've got the paddlers warming up here. I'm gonna see if stand-up paddleboarders and K1 alike on this start line. And if I had to guess, I think the fastest boats here will probably be around that, maybe see the okay, and there is Chris Davis' race by himself, which is going to be tough. He was able to do it with Gavin last year. That is Johnny Abear behind him. And then we've got the last two set guys in the final K1. This is a complete contrast to the race last year. Last year was the first ever edition of the Thames 200 Ultra, and the start was absolutely pouring rain, tons of cloud cover. It was, it did dampen the atmosphere a little bit. I think this year it was definitely nicer. There was a lot of sun that we had out today. I think everyone was really pleased with those conditions, including Chris Davison, who we just saw start on SUP. I think Chris Davison is very likely going to win the stand-up paddleboarding nonstop race today. Chris raced last year. He was second behind Gavin Simmons, and the fastest stand-up paddleboarder in this race will actually be the person who holds the fastest known times down the River Thames, or that was the case last year. And so Gavin managed to take that. I don't think Chris is aiming to take that from Gavin this year. I think he's more focused on a finish rather than necessarily the win or trying to take that fastest known time. But he should finish around that 30-hour mark, hopefully afternoon. The start list, you can see that. Here is our 10 a.m. start list. Thank you for bearing with us. We are on the move. We're going to get onto some more commentators, transit to commentary team. So we'll have Henry Carter with us. Henry is and has covered the race last year and earlier this year. And then I also am really, Craig is a very experienced stand-up paddleboarder who, like a lot of the suppers out today, is, should we say, addicted to ultras a little bit? A little bit addicted to ultras. And that makes him perfect for this. He's also a documentary filmmaker and made a film about the Yukon 1000, which he did on a stand-up paddleboard. Which is a really great film and well worth a watch. But yeah, serious undertaking there. So looks like we're doing better on signal now. Should we go maybe away from the speaker? All right. Thanks to live stream later then. All right, so I'm going to get us reset up here. And let me see what we can do with this. All right. There we go. We're on film. I'm going to turn this around. Okay. And let's get us on camera. Cool. All right. Yeah. Craig, I'll put you in position. And I'll come. Great. Okay, so that is Craig and Henry, who are on our commentary team today.
First time we've met. Hi, Henry. I'm Craig. Nice to meet you.
It's all right. We had.
What brings you here?
Wow. Apparently, there's a race going on.
So, Craig, I really want to hear from you about the stand-up paddleboarders who are out there today.
Okay, so we have 4 stand-up paddleboarders in this year's race. It'd be great to see some more next year. So I know there was a lot sitting on the fence. So again, remember, use this as an opportunity to start thinking and planning for next year. So we've got 4 paddleboarders. We've got Johnny Herbert from the UK, and I caught up with Johnny. He's actually racing in support of prostate cancer. He lost his father 2 weeks ago to prostate cancer, so it's obviously very current and close to his heart.
Bit raw.
Yeah, so it's raw for quite a few people here as well. So Johnny Herbert, this is actually Johnny's longest paddle he's going to do. So he's never been for the night, and I think the longest he said he's done is 75 kilometres. So that's Johnny Herbert. We've got obviously Chris Davidson. Chris Davidson did it last year, come second, gave Gavin Simmons a very good run for his money. Chris is no stranger to the ultra endurance stand-up paddleboarding scene. Great Glen, SUP 12, and always consistently podiums. He's a very strong paddler. If I was a betting man, I know where my money would be. When I say that, because also there's a bit of a dark horse, Kevin Coln. So Kevin Coln is come over from Holland. I think he's Dutch, although he has a very German name. So Kevin, he's a bit of a dark horse. I've actually raced with him on the 11 Cities non-stop in 2023. It's the first time we've properly met. I've lent him some gear and a board and a paddle. He stood on my board and paddle for the first time ever. Yeah, I did say to him, I said, look, do you want to arrive earlier with it and let you have a little play around? He goes, I've got 120 miles to learn how to paddle it. So Kevin actually, I think he's a bit of a dark horse because
that's also brave confidence.
It's a very, very brave confidence. And then we've got Adrian Engel. So Adrian is a Brit that lives in the US. Again, no stranger to ultra paddling, done some amazing events and challenges. He's setting up a challenge every year, and he's raising money for diabetes awareness as well. So that's our 4 paddleboarders. I think that they're all have varying levels of experience. They're all, with Chris Davis, he said to me, he's more nervous this year than he was last year, which was interesting.
Oh, he didn't tell me that.
Yeah, did he? He told me you got to ask the right questions, Betsy.
Yeah.
And he did say actually he's more nervous, although he knows what's coming. And I don't know what it is. He didn't really let on to why, but yeah, he said he's a little bit more nervous this year than last year. The conditions, were you here last year? So the conditions, I think, as you can see, are
much nicer.
Much nicer.
I've got a sun hat on rather than a raincoat.
I apply sunscreen.
I was wearing wellies last year at this time. It was, it was dire.
Torrential rain. And some people said, oh, that must have been great, though, for the flow. But actually, it wasn't, because it only the torrential rain was just that day. So it hadn't actually had a time to run off. No. So basically, it was just miserable. And then the second day, we had
it got better.
It got better. The good news is the weather forecast for this weekend is much nicer.
I think it's like this all the way through.
Yeah, so we got so broken sunshine, broken cloud, warm but not too hot. So although it's probably going to be clear, there's no moonlight. That has a big effect.
That's good. That's going to. I heard quite a few stories last year. The biggest hesitation, particularly from some of the SUPs, was doing those portages on their own in the dark, and that's where we saw quite a few of them at Abingdon and go through the night in pairs, and at least that way they had someone fell over, someone has to pick them up. Light and the moon, that is going to play on their minds a little bit, but I guess what's your tactic against that? Do you just push hard and try and get as far as you can before the light fades, or do you just stick to your pace and your plan and just come what may?
Well, so I think with the locks, there's 44 locks, and they kind of progressively you get tighter and they get bigger and busier as well. So I think you've got that to factor in. I think everyone, it's a river, so it's going one direction, but you can get lost as well at night without moonlight, because the river's not really it's not a navigable river at night. People don't navigate it, so it's not lit up in that way. So the locks at night are dark, and there's a couple of locks that are on some quite tricky corners and sections. And if if you miss one, if you're not that, you don't paddle that part of the river, as I found out last year, and I went past a weir, so I knew there was a lock.
That happens. You got a cut.
Yeah.
You've also got another cut where the weir goes down.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you take the wrong,
yeah, I think Sonning Lock as well. I think Sonning
yeah.
Lock is where I kind of come unstuck a bit, and I found myself in a marina.
I was also chatting to one or two of the paddlers who have recce'd the whole course because they're going for it, but we'll come to them later. But they've recce'd the whole course, and they were saying a couple of the portages, they're above head height. So they're coming in, and for them, they're in a K1. So they're coming in, standing up in their K1 and then still scrambling to get out the top. So I can imagine on a SUP, that's still just as difficult, just because you're already standing up.
Did you have a strategy for that last year?
So when it comes to locks and SUPs and locks, you know, there's a number of things you've got to kind of factor in. Firstly, you are on your own. So, you know, it's a me, myself and I to get yourself safely up onto the bank and then bring your board safely up, which is probably, everyone here is on hard boards, actually. I should have said last year we had a mixture of hard and ice ups. Obviously, ice ups are a little bit easier to bang around and a little bit less of a concern, but the hard board, you put a ding in a hard board, you catch it on a screw head or a corner, and that's your race over.
I know, literally looking down here and looking at that bolt sticking out the ground. The portages are going to be little.
So I think, so as I always say, people say, so more speed, less haste. It's take this time, slow down, you know, recce it first, look and see, are you getting at the right spot? The correct spot is not always the closest. Sometimes you think you should get closest to the lock, but actually, you know, there's usually a way out. But some of these are, you know, they're head height. There's a ladder you can climb up, but when you're tired and you're fatigued and your hands, you just got to do things slower.
And it's dark out.
And then when you get yourself out of the water, and then generally what paddleboarders will do on the bigger locks is use their leash to then pull the back of the leash, you know, making sure they've got a nice strong leash point. And that's the best way. So you know, grab your leash, use that to kind of pull up, then get the back of the board up, then put it through. Again, I see people leave paddles. They get so busy sorting the board out, and they take their bags off, and then they walk off, and then they realise they've left their paddle back as well. So you can get this kind of carry on, you're running back and forth between the put in.
It's good to have a bit of a walk around again.
Yes.
Stretch the legs a bit.
Yeah. So I think the challenge is on SUP. But from a SUP point of view, the locks are challenging in as much as you don't want to damage the board because the risk factor's there. And carrying the locks get bigger as we get in the river, and some of them are really simple, nice. You know, you can almost step off onto a wooden platform, a grassy bank.
Yeah, like
you know.
I think from Sunbury downwards, you know, there's either a canoe portage or it's grassy banks, and you know, if it's canoe portage, you've got a grand scale of 2 inches to scale. So
grass.
Although having said that, it's usually. I'm going to have a moan here. EA, get your boats out of the portages at Hampton Court because it's getting in the way. But yeah, other than that, the only obstacles there are what's normally left abandoned in a lock portage.
Yeah.
But yeah, before that, it gets a bit wild, doesn't it?
It does. And the thing as well, carrying a paddle, because you're on your own as well, you know, so your forearms, you're carrying both your board, you've got your bags, you've got your dry bags on the mandatory kit you have to have. And probably I'd say maybe for the first 10 locks, it's not really something that's on your mind because they're smaller locks, you're still not so fatigued. But as you get tired, as you get cold into the night, and as you get stressed, some of the locks, it's not always obvious where they're put in as well. And it sounds stupid, but you kind of come out and you walk around and you're like, do I go? Some of them have little paths through nettled fields before you get to the put-in. You know, they're not all that obvious, right? So like, and obviously when you make a mistake, you beat yourself up about it, and then it starts that cycle as well. So
I'm going to throw that back onto you now. So I know paddlers who have recce'd the whole course. They have in chunks done the whole route as part of their training towards this, which means they know what's coming at each of the locks. Yeah. Whereas you've got guys who this is the first time they've been on that board. So,
on that river.
So my question is, does that change who's your favourite based on who's got the experience and who's got who's done a recce?
So I think Chris is my favourite, not only because obviously he's done the race, so he knows exactly what he knows what's coming, Whether he will remember it all, but there'll be bits where he's like, "Oh, I remember this from last year," or you know, the little mistakes he may have made last year.
And
he
even
would
if
have
the
thought,
path gets overgrown, you know that is the correct
path.
path.
And if you made a mistake last year, you'll remember that mistake and you won't do it. So I think that gives him that advantage. And I noticed he's on a different board as well. That you know he's been able to choose because he knows the conditions and what he's racing on. So
we've got Chris on a wider board or
slightly wider, very slightly wider, bit lighter. So I think that's going to be things. So he's on a 404.
Wider and lighter.
Yeah,
interesting.
So
how's he managed that?
It's just with cash because it's an expensive board. So it's only a little bit wider. I think he was on a starboard.
If in doubt, throw money.
I think he was on a starboard all-star last year. I'm going to say 24. I think he's on a 4.4 jump 26 maybe or 25, but it's a little bit. They're hollow carbon. They're a lot lighter. So that's Chris, and I think.
That'll be a game changer.
It will be. And I look at Kevin. Now, Kevin's a really strong paddler. He's done the distance. He's done the 11 cities, which I think is probably the closest SUP race you can have to this because it's pretty much the same distance, give or take a few kilometres. And it has 2 locks, not 44 locks.
Right. So it's similar distance, but not as many.
Not as many. But you also you go against the flow in places. There's a couple of points. You have a couple of big lakes with lots of boat traffic as well. So there's things that work in his favour and as well things that don't. Now, so he knows the distance, so he knows his nutrition, he knows how to fuel for it, he knows how to paddle through the night. So he's got all that going for him. But he stood on my board for the first time as he left the start line, and I watched him going. The board I've lent him is like can be like a bit like a buckaroo in parts of it as well. So I did see him out there trying to find.
Tame it,
So, but as I said to him, I said, look, do you want to borrow it a couple of days beforehand? But he's been flying over from Switzerland. And I've got 125 miles, so he's going to sort that out. So he'd be interesting. So I think he's got it physically and experience-wise. Whether the lack of knowledge of the Thames is going to be a consideration, we should see. Then Johnny, I have no idea. Johnny, I mean, he's got a reason to paddle it. Obviously, you know, something's very close to his heart with his father. You know, he's got that there.
And that often does. I mean, this is now myself and Betsy's 4th way through coverage of a race, and so one of the things we have started to see is people who have got a cause or a reason to race often find the energy somewhere when it gets dark, when it really starts to hurt. They're the ones that actually go, no, I'm doing this for my dad, I'm doing this, and so they I mean, they're not necessarily the dark horse, they're the grey horse. They will keep going on. Because I don't really mean to say they've got something to prove, but they've got a reason. Because
with the thing with ultras, I think what attracts a lot of people to ultras is, I don't think I know anyone that's ever finished an ultra and gone, every single that is absolutely amazing, because, you know, you have highs, you have lows. You know, I say to people, like, you know, when it's good, just know that it's going to come bad, and when it's bad, know it's going to come good.
If you get to the finish and you're like, oh, that was lovely the whole way through, you probably haven't done it right.
Well, I'm saying that, so I would say that, but I'm going to caveat that very briefly while we have our 5th team coming past. I don't know, this is going to come on the live stream here. So here we go. So this is so these guys. There we go.
So Keith has said if it's paddleable, it can race.
Yeah. So here we go.
I'm going to say,
anyone fancies doing a team event next year to find out thing? Here's what we're going to do. Could you imagine?
They're in the race colours. It's 100%. Pink and blue.
Yep. Not too sure they know where they're going, but anyway. So where were we? There was I had quite a nice point.
I'm sure though, if you got together a group of keen cyclists and rigged one of those up, that could do.
The locks might be quite challenging. You probably have to go through them rather than around them. So the good time, bad time, and you know, that's it. That's what I was going to say. So I said that I don't think anyone finishes a race, and so that was all amazing. Nothing was bad apart from Jan. So Jan, who finished last year on an SUP.
Handstand man.
Handstand man, Jan. Yes. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his surname, but if we call him handstand man. Sandala. Yep. So Jan, I spoke to Jan actually this week, and he was telling me that when he got to the finish, he was half thinking about turning around and paddling back to the start. So, and I truly believe he meant it as well. So, because we saw him at the finish line, he was a bundle of energy as well, and he's just actually finished.
Of energy the whole way down. I mean, who does a handstand?
Yeah, and on his
SUP,
and on an ice SUP as well. You know,
I don't know whether it was covered in the live stream but what happened is he paddled into the checkpoint, and his number was on his back, and everyone and the checkpoint marshal was like, "What's your number? What's your number?" And he then just did a handstand in order to flip himself over to show his number.
Was he a 6 or a 9? Because that could have got really confusing.
Well, hopefully it was an 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's for me. That sums up the kind of guy he was. Like, why do it the easy way when you can have fun and do it the hard way?
And he has just finished very recently, in the last couple of weeks. He did the I want to call it the Thames Loop, but it's basically a 250-mile loop that takes in both the Thames and the surrounding rivers.
Yeah, Betsy was telling me about that. The Thames Circuit.
Thames Circuit. I think it's 250 miles in total.
Yeah, so I think it goes obviously down the Thames, catches the Grand Union, and then onto the Oxford Canal, and then back onto the Thames and back down. So yeah, it's a three river loop, as it were. Yeah, that did look impressive, and I think that's the reason he's not here today.
Yeah, although when I spoke to him last week, he looked like he could have done it.
So he was keen to do this off the back of that. I suppose,
so
those that can.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that's, I mean, it's four paddleboarders. Unfortunately, all male. You know, we had quite a few paddleboarders last year, and I think Betsy alluded to it earlier. I mean, some of them they were using it as a good experience for night paddling.
Yeah.
And they buddied up at night. It is unnerving at night paddling for anyone. It's something to experience, but like no moonlight. I think that's the main thing. Is like when you've got moonlight. When I did the 11 cities in 2023, we had full moon, no cloud, and it was like daylight. You know, I don't think I used, other than for safety, we didn't have to use torches or nightlight. Whereas, you know, we got last year no moonlight. I know those that haven't experienced nighttime paddling did. I don't want to use the word struggle, but they realised that you have to have a bit of confidence. You have to kind of let things go.
So was there no hope of getting a SUP relay going?
Well, there was a SUP relay team, but I think good old Frosty, I don't know if Frosty's online, but Michael Frost, and there's a couple of us trying to sort out a SUP team. I don't know the reasons why not in the end, but I think relaying is a great. I mean, this year I think relay is probably the biggest fleet, right? Or biggest field.
Yeah, it's certainly the biggest field, and certainly with the most numbers in it. But I think also that is one of the things that sets this race apart from many other races, paddle races, is because it is a relay. It's now much more open to a club who, fine, you might have an athlete that can do an ultra, but most clubs will have 8 paddlers that can do 30k.
Yeah.
So let's just stick them in K2s and K1s and relay them. And I think if that then bounces over to SUP, that'd be amazing, because there are undoubtedly loads of suppers that could handle 30k in a pot. Whereas finding a supper that can handle 200k in a pot, they're going to be rare, I'm guessing.
I think also the relay gives you the option of saying, actually, you know what, I want to see what it's like paddling through the night, but I can focus just on the night paddle. I can see if I can do it, and then I want to come back next year and do it solo. So like you know, and you haven't got to do it in 4. You can do 2 of you, and just take it in turns as well. So
that's the other thing as well. What about tandem SUP?
Well, we do have, so we have tandem SUP. So we have, they travel the world racing tandem SUP and doing very well at tandem SUP. I think tandem SUP is great. I think it's the cost of the boards are.
Right.
There's quite a high point of entry.
Let's have the disgusting conversation.
Yeah.
If I want to get into SUP and I want to paddle a top-end racing SUP, how much are we talking, and what does that actually buy me? So, if you're open to, there's actually quite a buoyant second-hand market for race boards, I think, at the moment. Okay.
So you know, so for race, I mean, you can spend, as with anything, you can spend a lot of money.
If you're willing to spend it, someone is willing to take it from you.
100%. Yeah, you can go and buy a £4,000 or £5,000, and you could smash it up on the first lock against a screw on the floor. I mean, you can pick up a good race board, maybe a few years old, a good starboard star, kind of the staple racing boards, maybe for between 800 and 1,500, depending on the year and the condition.
Okay, that's
They're not bad.
Yeah,
They're not bad. And then you know,
that'd be comparable to our marathon K1.
Yeah.
But what sort of weight is that coming in at?
I mean, again, I mean, kind of some of the lightest boards are around just sub 10 kilograms, just under.
Right.
But I'm gonna
right
before you. It is when you put in 44 locks.
One boat, because today I got in my 8 kilo. I had one of those moments where the difference between a 14 kilo SUP laden and an 8 kilo SUP laden. But also, I guess, if you're willing to just throw money at things, you're probably going to throw money at the kit, which is also going to be lighter.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, it's best not to compare it. If you've got a heavy board, don't bother picking up a light board, then you don't know what you're missing. So, you know, it's like, just there's no point. Don't put yourself through it. If you haven't got it, there's no point in working out what you're missing, is there? So, like, the tools you have are the tools you're going to use.
Yeah.
But then you can spend, I mean, I would say, there's an interesting discussion around paddles in our sport at the moment. Like, but I mean, like, how much difference really, particularly on ultra, does a paddle make? You know, we're talking fractions of seconds, maybe in sprint racing as well. But you want a nice light paddle, something that's really robust.
I mean, it's curious. So on that, I would, my instinct is to go over to the micro gains argument, which is, you know, how much does this paddle change from paddle A to paddle B? But if paddle B is just a fraction, and we're talking like 1 milliliter of water more efficient over that distance, that number of strokes, that is going to build up, and it's going to be 20 minutes.
The challenge is like knowing how to monitor that and benchmark that. And I think we have the same argument with fins.
Is what
we're never going to have. I mean, like, I could line up a load of paddles and I could go out on the same bit of river at the same time. And could I really actually physically tell in my mind the difference?
I've only heard of one man that can.
Yeah.
I still question.
I would do, yeah, exactly. And I think it's the same with fins. Like, from a SUP point of view, and as much as, of course, there's the overarching size and kind of surface area of fin, which are going to give you the stability or the speed and the drag. So there's a higher level thing. But when you get down to those micro things, like, for example, you know, on my ultras, I've got a very expensive carbon fiber fin, but for all of my ultras, I've got this 40 pounds plastic fin that I got off Amazon. And this thing,
matter if you drag that along.
I can drag that across anything. I mean, basically, I could drag it across the road, and the road's going to lose out. You know, like, and it's like, you know, yes, it's slightly heavier, but like, am I really going to notice a difference? No, but I feel confident. That's been with me forever. You know,
I mean, funny enough, in terms of weight and boat, once the boat is moving, once the craft is moving on the water, that's it. And actually, having a heavy boat is not necessarily a disadvantage. Where it becomes a disadvantage is the portages and then accelerating it back up to speed again.
That was actually the chat I had with Michael Reese-Clark on Paddlecast, because he is sort of racing a heavier boat. So he's in the non-stop doubles race, which is going off at 2 o'clock later this afternoon. And they have chosen a stable, heavy boat, which is not what he's used to, but his wife Karina, who he's paddling with, it's her first time doing anything like this. So she'll be more comfortable. And, you know, he said once they get up to speed, they're up to speed.
And the other thing, so I've got 2 boards that I've lent out. One is a flat water race board, which I've given to Kevin because he got in first. And the other one that Adrian's got is, I mean, I told him it was an all-round board, but really it's probably an ocean board, really. But like, I was like,
right, he's already...
Yeah, he's gone off now. I can tell it. He'll watch this on the rerun. He'll be like, yeah. But like, but like the argument. That's not the argument. He was going to be gone, but this is a 200-kilometer race. You know, this is not going to be won in the first 20 meters. And as you get further down the river, as fatigue sits in. You know, last year we had high winds in that last like 50 kilometers, particularly on paddleboards, because we are going to be pushing the race cutoff, the 34-hour cutoff. You know, I know with the kayaks and you know, they're talking 15, 16 hours, I think we had last year. Whereas, you know, paddleboarders are going to be in that 29 and a half hours was Gavin set the benchmark last year. Will Chris do it this year? You know, chances of it. But really, we're talking, you know, 30 to 33 hours, I think. Now,
long time, to be honest.
Last year, we had such heavy wind. That's a heavy wind. The wind funnels through. But more importantly is the other boat traffic. It's a bank holiday weekend here in the UK. The sun is shining. the rivers will be very busy on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So from a paddleboarding point of view, you're coming into the part of the river that's the busiest on a Sunday afternoon with people that had a few too many gins in
quite high spirits.
in flamingo boats, little potty boats, and they're all over the river. They don't know the rules of the river, and it's bouncing back off the sides. There's boats cutting across. So when you're most tired and fatigued, it's windy, it's choppy coming at you. Now that is where being on a comfortable board rather than a flat water race board is going to come into its own. So again, you're going to look at the race as a whole, and I think it's the same for any craft. You got to think about it like, how am I going to get myself through this whole period?
Funny enough, that's one of the founding rules and principles of the DW race, which was I can't quote it exactly, but yeah, it's, one of the first 5 principles was to find a craft that is durable enough to sustain the canal, stable enough to deal with the
100%.
Thames, and I think that applies to all races. You in an ideal world, everyone would have 5 or 6 craft to choose from, but you still have to look at the event and go, okay, that's flat. And the most wash you're going to handle is a narrow boat or
a pink flamingo.
Or a pink flamingo. But as you say, so down at the Teddington ends, that's my home stretch. And
all bets are off.
One Sunday afternoon, I took out 2 guys. We were in surf skis, so ocean-going kayaks. But one of them was in a K1, and the height of the wake coming off was enough for us to surf comfortably, and the K1 was just being flooded, and so it becomes a Piccadilly circus down there, particularly that Hampton Court Teddington stretch.
And the SUPs will be going through at the worst time of day. It's the middle of the afternoon, so yeah, I mean,
join them, have a couple of gins.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we have some ultra races like the Alabama 650 where you can change the craft because you have a bit of ocean, you have all sorts, you can unlimited there. And on the DW, very interestingly, so I'm going to just bring this DW into this very quickly, just to get your viewpoint. So
I'll raise it first.
So this year, shout out to Emily King, and I've forgotten the other gentleman's name. We had 2 SUPs that were allowed to give the DW a go this year on the multi-day. Who's it?
Paddy McCormick.
Paddy McCormick.
Yeah, Paddy from Ireland. He and Emily were the first 2 to finish.
Emily attempted the Thames Ultra 200 100 last year here. Yeah. I think she pulled out in the night time with Alexandra Tyler. Yeah. They had a good run, but I think this goes back to expensive boards. So Alex had a very nice, very expensive board that she was very, very much realizing dragging it out of a lock in the middle of the night was potentially going to smash it up. So
it was painful.
Yeah. So they had a great race, but I saw Emily come there and she went back and did the DW. She did the multi-day. They both proved that SUPs can do it. My question is, when will we be allowed to try it non-stop? Because I think as a craft, we've proven across many ultras that actually we can do it. And actually, in the words of John from Yukon 1000, he has less worries about the SUPs than he does about kayaks and canoes. Now, well, so I'm putting this out here that, like, at some point,
I think if it's the DW, it's going to be the same as Yukon, which is you have to go as a pair, right? Which is how you
as a pair. So you can go as a pair, as a team, as a pair. So not on the same board.
Because the DW, you're only allowed to race it in 2-person craft.
But can you do a 2-person team, but on separate craft?
That has never been done. Yeah.
But obviously you're not in the same craft.
But
I hope the organisers at some point would say that even as a.
I think they might.
So jumping off that point, and so the director of DW is entering today.
He is. We're going to catch Paul Field in here, and
I've got the mic.
Absolutely.
Be able to ask him yourself.
I shall run along the riverbank shouting it.
Interesting that I think I made the point to our media team the other day when we were looking through the start lists. You've got the director of DW is entering this race, and someone else.
James Treadgold, who is the chairman of directors for DW. I think that's his title. He's racing later.
So the big dogs are here.
Yeah.
I would imagine that if you are one of the organisers of a race like DW, you enjoy long distance racing.
Yeah.
But when you are one of the organisers of DW, you don't get to race DW. So the fact that they can actually come along and jump in on this is great.
It's great.
But it also means that you can now prove to them you're entering the race with SUPs in. So maybe SUPs should be allowed to enter.
So
I think they'll be.
That'd be
open
great.
to it.
I think that'd be a great discussion. Because I think also, like last year, what was great about last year's racing is, as a paddle sport community, there is very little kind of communication in the past between SUP, kayak, canoe. But actually, we all move in the same circles. We all enjoy the same bodies of water. The same kind of races now opening up to us. And actually, what I loved last year was the conversation, camaraderie. As the kayaks and canoes were catching the SUP fleets we left earlier last year, the chat, the discussion as well. I hope that we got a bit more kind of, maybe not respect is the wrong word to use, but actually, paddleboards, we're not all on, £100 Amazon, we're not £100 Amazon boards, causing, RNLI to go out every, we're not all like that, as well. So I think that was great. So I would love to have the opportunity to share the water with canoes and kayaks and do that as well.
I think it'll happen, and everyone's together at the finish, which is going to be fun too. So we are going to put the start list back up on the live stream now. We're going to take a little break from commentary, and then if you stay on it or leave it on in the background, you will see some interviews that I did with racers earlier, so you can hear from them in their own words. And then we're going to come back again just in time for the 2 p.m. start. So be sure to kind of keep this on in the background and definitely come back before 2 p.m. when it is going to be a very fast, very, very exciting start. And then stay with us throughout the rest of the day. Hey, Chris Davison, you're back again.
I am.
What's brought you back a second time?
The sunshine. I want to try and do it in the sun this time as opposed to the rain when we started last time.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it's just another good challenge. I when I came off the water last time, was a dead enthusiastic, but 5 minutes later, wanted to do it again. Let's give it a go and see what happens this time, because every time you do these endurance events, they always seem to be different. Different challenges, different good times. So let's see what happens. Be good.
Nice. All right. And you enjoy an ultra, is that fair to say? You were at the Eliminator this summer.
I did. I did the skedaddle a little bit earlier on. I do. I just haven't got the speed for the shorter events really. So with these, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It's just finishing that's the goal really. I like the camaraderie as well. Everyone wants everyone to finish. It's not like, we've got to win at all costs. So, I quite like that element of it as well.
All right. Well, good luck today. Really excited to see you along the course.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris Davison, you're back again.
I am.
What's brought you back a second time?
The sunshine. I want to try and do it in the sun this time as opposed to the rain when we started last time.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it's just another good challenge. I when I came off the water last time, was a dead enthusiastic, but 5 minutes later, wanted to do it again. Let's give it a go and see what happens this time, because every time you do these endurance events, they always seem to be different. Different challenges, different good times. So let's see what happens. Be good.
Nice. All right. And you enjoy an ultra, is that fair to say? You were at the Eliminator this summer.
I did. I did the skedaddle a little bit earlier on. I do. I just haven't got the speed for the shorter events really. So with these, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It's just finishing that's the goal really. I like the camaraderie as well. Everyone wants everyone to finish. It's not like, we've got to win at all costs. So I quite like that element of it as well.
All right. Well, good luck today. Really excited to see you along the course.
Thank you.
About the race?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's a beautiful day. The conditions seem like they're perfect, and yeah, I'm ready to go.
And you, what are you looking forward to about this?
So I'm really looking forward to, the whole challenge, and I guess that's a really good question. I'm dreading the night, but I'm also looking forward to the night. I'm looking to see how that goes, because it's the first time I'll have been doing anything like paddling in the dark for so long. I've been practicing a little bit on the Ohio River in Cincinnati, where I live, but this will be the first time I've actually put into practice. So that'll be good.
All right. I find the night really nice to paddle through, so I think you'll have an enjoyable time.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
And you have done some major ultra challenges in the past. You've done 220 miles across England.
Yep.
But is this your first ultra race?
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually been racing. So obviously I do shorter races, and the longest race I do on an annual basis is the Chatterjack race in Chattanooga, which I love. But this is, and I did the Great Glen race. I did that as a challenge as well, and that was a super time as well. Actually, that was during the dark as well, so I've done a little bit in the dark.
You did that one straight through? Or?
I did that one, yeah, it was just in one shot, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so second ultra, definitely.
Yeah, we'll count that one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Well, anything you're a little bit worried about other than the dark?
Just managing energy levels, hydration, just making sure that I keep on top of that. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know not to push myself too hard. I've made those mistakes in the past, so we'll see how it goes.
And did I hear that you have raised, because you do a diabetes fundraiser every year?
That's right.
And how much money have you raised for Diabetes UK?
Well, so far it's just over £10,000 at the moment, and I see every time I do one of these things, it seems to tick up a little bit. So thanks very much for the plug for Diabetes UK. So yeah, if anybody wants to donate, you go to justgiving.com. My name's Adrian Angel. Look for that page, and you can donate to Diabetes UK.
All right. Well, good luck today, Adrian.
Thanks very much.
And how are you feeling about the race?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's a beautiful day. The conditions seem like they're perfect, and yeah, I'm ready to go.
And you, what are you looking forward to about this?
So I'm really looking forward to, the whole challenge, and I guess that's a really good question. I'm dreading the night, but I'm also looking forward to the night. I'm looking to see how that goes, because it's the first time I'll have been doing anything like paddling in the dark for so long. I've been practicing a little bit on the Ohio River in Cincinnati, where I live, but this will be the first time I've actually put into practice. So that'll be good.
All right. I find the night really nice to paddle through, so I think you'll have an enjoyable time.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
And you have done some major ultra challenges in the past. You've done 220 miles across England.
Yep.
But is this your first ultra race?
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually been racing. So obviously I do shorter races, and the longest race I do on an annual basis is the Chatterjack race in Chattanooga, which I love. But this is, and I did the Great Glen race. I did that as a challenge as well, and that was a super time as well. Actually, that was during the dark as well, so I've done a little bit in the dark.
You did that one straight through? Or?
I did that one, yeah, it was just in one shot, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so second ultra, definitely.
Yeah, we'll count that one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Well, anything you're a little bit worried about other than the dark?
Just managing energy levels, hydration, making sure that I keep on top of that. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know not to push myself too hard. I've made those mistakes in the past, so we'll see how it goes.
And did I hear that you have raised, because you do a diabetes fundraiser every year?
That's right.
And how much money have you raised for Diabetes UK?
Well, so far it's just over £10,000 at the moment, and I see every time I do one of these things, it seems to tick up a little bit. So thanks very much for the plug for Diabetes UK. So yeah, if anybody wants to donate, you go to justgiving.com. My name's Adrian Angel. Look for that page, and you can donate to Diabetes UK.
All right. Well, good luck today, Adrian.
Thanks very much.
You're back again.
I am.
What's brought you back a second time?
The sunshine. Want to try and do it in the sun this time, as opposed to the rain when we started last time.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it's just another good challenge. When I came off the water last time, was a dead enthusiastic, but 5 minutes later, wanted to do it again. Let's give it a go and see what happens this time, because every time you do these endurance events, they always seem to be different. Different challenges, different good times. So yeah, let's see what happens. Be good.
Nice. All right. And you enjoy an ultra. Is that fair to say? You were at the Eliminator this summer.
I did. Yeah, I did the skedaddle a little bit earlier on. So yeah, I do. I just haven't got the speed for the shorter events really. So with these, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It's just finishing that's the goal really. And I like the camaraderie as well. Everyone wants everyone to finish. It's not like we've got to win at all costs. So yeah, I quite like that element of it as well.
All right. Well, good luck today. Really excited to see you along the course.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris Davison, you're back again.
I am.
What's brought you back a second time?
The sunshine. Want to try and do it in the sun this time as opposed to the rain when we started last time.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it's just another good challenge. I when I came off the water last time was a dead enthusiastic, but 5 minutes later, yeah, wanted to do it again. Yeah, let's give it a go and see what happens this time, because every time you do these endurance events, they always seem to be different. Different challenges, different good times. So yeah, let's see what happens. Be good.
Nice. All right. And you enjoy an ultra. Is that fair to say? You were at the Eliminator this summer.
I did. Yeah, I did the skedaddle a little bit earlier on. So yeah, I do. I just haven't got the speed for the shorter events really. So with these, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It's just finishing that's the goal really. And I like the camaraderie as well. Everyone wants everyone to finish. It's not like we've got to win at all costs. So yeah, I quite like that element of it as well.
All right. Well, good luck today. Really excited to see you along the course.
Thank you. Apparently, which I'm not sure if it is. Oh, okay. That's a little bit faster than we wanted. Best of luck, guys. See you along the way. Apparently, which I'm not sure if it is. Oh, okay. That's a little bit faster than we wanted. Best of luck, guys. See you along the way.
The Thames 200 Ultra.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. No, I don't think I've done anything quite stupid enough this year, so I felt I needed to fix that. and I thought Thames 200 Ultra would be a good way of doing it. And in the meantime, also raising money for medical aid in Palestine. Tam really the driving force on that. So yes, hopefully a double whammy of me doing something stupid and also doing it for a good cause. Sure.
And Tam, what was your...
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, Mark had mentioned that he was doing this ultra, and I jumped at the chance to raise money for Palestinians. Medical Aid for Palestinians is one of the very few agencies that are on the ground really helping out in this genocide and ethnic cleansing. And I think at the moment, with the famine going on, they really need our help. They need as much money as possible. So please donate.
All right. And I'm sure, Mark, you've put that link up if people want to look for it.
Yeah, I'm not on Instagram, but Tam's created a whole page on my behalf. So I think there's links and all sorts there.
And is this going to be your first ultra?
I've done small, running ultras. But only sort of 50k, so kind of 5-6 hours rather than however long it's going to take me to do it today. So depends on your classification.
And you have come over from the dark side, I hear.
I have, yeah. No, I was a rower, probably better suited to rowing as well. But I didn't realise there was a rivalry between kayakers and rowing until I started kayaking. And apparently, your rowers hate kayakers. Okay, apparently. So apparently that's a thing. But now I actually share a boat club where there's rowers and kayakers. I can see, but it's more. Because they don't know where they're going at all. So now I'm starting to be sympathetic towards the kayaking cause. But
and what is it about the kayaking in particular that's drawn you in?
Partly it was learning a new skill. I rode for about 20 years, and actually sort of doing the same thing in and out comes a bit of Groundhog Day. So that was fun. Looking where you're going is a bonus, and just it's much more flexible. Rowing's very much you do all or nothing. You're either training twice a day, 6 days a week, or that's it. Whereas if I don't turn up to the canoe club for a couple of weeks, no one even cares. Whereas if I miss a session in rowing, it's like I get a phone call being like, "Where the hell are you?" sort of thing. So it's quite different in that way. But no, I'm really enjoying it. And,
well, good luck today. What are you looking forward to most?
The finish, I think, but that's probably not a good focus. I'm just gonna. As I say, try and concentrate on where I'm going, not getting lost, and try and have vaguely good technique, which is, be first time, but we'll see.
Well, good luck. Thanks Mark.
Much. Cheers.
I'm feeling pretty good. It's a beautiful day. The conditions seem like they're perfect, and I'm ready to go.
And you, what are you looking forward to about this?
So I'm really looking forward to, the whole challenge, and I guess that's a really good question. I'm dreading the night, but I'm also looking forward to the night. I'm looking to see how that goes, because it's the first time I'll have been doing anything like paddling in the dark for so long. I've been practicing a little bit on the Ohio River in Cincinnati, where I live, but this will be the first time I've actually put it into practice. So that'll be good.
All right. I find the night really nice to paddle through, so I think you'll have an enjoyable time.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
And you have done some major ultra challenges in the past. You've done 220 miles across England.
Yep.
But is this your first ultra race?
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually been racing. So obviously I do shorter races, and the longest race I do on an annual basis is the Chatterjack race in Chattanooga, which I love. But this is, and I did the Great Glen race. I did that as a challenge as well, and that was a super time as well. Actually, that was during the dark as well, so I've done a little bit in the dark.
You did that one straight through? Or?
I did that one, it was just in one shot,
Yeah, okay, so second ultra, definitely.
Yeah, we'll count that one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Well, anything you're a little bit worried about other than the dark?
Just managing energy levels, hydration, just making sure that I keep on top of that. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know not to push myself too hard. I've made those mistakes in the past, so we'll see how it goes.
And did I hear that you have raised, because you do a diabetes fundraiser every year?
That's right.
And how much money have you raised for Diabetes UK?
Well, so far it's just over £10,000 at the moment, and I see every time I do one of these things, it seems to tick up a little bit. So thanks very much for the plug for Diabetes UK. So if anybody wants to donate, you go to justgiving.com. My name's Adrian Angel. Look for that page, and you can donate to Diabetes UK.
All right. Well, good luck today, Adrian.
Thanks very much.
So I wanted to do this last year when I watched my mate Gav do it, but I hadn't prepared enough. So this year I'm here doing it, paddling for Prostate Cancer UK.
That you are, and you're raising funds for them, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. And is that a special connection to you? Or?
Yeah, I lost my dad 2 weeks ago from it.
Oh my God.
So we're doing it for that.
Wow. That's going to be really meaningful on the water.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Wow.
But yeah, so I love this bit of the Thames, like up to Oxford. It's really peaceful. A lot of people don't see this side of it because it's quite thin to what people normally see. So I love this part. It's really beautiful, but really looking forward to paddling through the night because I've not done that before. And hitting that end point.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
Thames 200 Ultra.
The boats, I think. No, I wanted to see if I could finish it.
And
that's the main thing.
So your goal today is
completion, not competition.
Okay. And how have you been preparing?
Not a lot. A lot less than I think I would need, but we'll see how it goes.
Is there anything you're looking forward to?
There's a lot of really nice stretches of river, which, like, as someone who's paddled along the Thames for a few years, like, there's bits that I've hold some memories for me that I'm quite looking forward to going down.
Nice.
A lot of them are at night, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'll make of it what I can. But it will be a little trip down memory lane for me.
So it's a familiar turf.
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you think is going to be the most difficult part, other than finishing?
I think the dark, the paddling through the night will be hard.
Have you done that before?
No.
All right, first time. Is this your first straight through ultra?
Yes.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed. Good luck.
Thank you.
Eames.
Hello.
What brought you to the Thames 200 Ultra?
The boats, I think. No, I wanted to see if I could finish it.
And
that's the main thing.
So your goal today is
completion, not competition.
Okay. And how have you been preparing?
Not a lot. A lot less than I think I would need, but we'll see how it goes.
Is there anything you're looking forward to?
There's a lot of really nice stretches of river, which, like, as someone who's paddled along the Thames for a few years, like, there's bits that I've hold some memories for me that I'm quite looking forward to going down.
Nice.
A lot of them are at night, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'll make of it what I can. But it will be a little trip down memory lane for me.
So it's a familiar turf.
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you think is going to be the most difficult part, other than finishing?
I think the dark, the paddling through the night will be hard.
Have you done that before?
No.
All right, first time. Is this your first straight through ultra?
Yes.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed. Good luck.
Thank you. 10.9 apparently, which I'm not sure if it is. Oh, okay. It's a little bit faster than I was wanting.
Best of luck, guys. See you along the way.
What brought you to the Thames 200 Ultra?
The boats, I think. No, I wanted to see if I could finish it.
And
That's the main thing.
So your goal today is?
Completion, not competition.
Okay. And how have you been preparing?
Not a lot. A lot less than I think I would need, but we'll see how it goes.
Is there anything you're looking forward to?
There's a lot of really nice stretches of river, which, like, as someone who's paddled along the Thames for a few years, like, there's bits that I've like hold some memories for me that I'm quite looking forward to going down.
Nice.
A lot of them are at night, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'll make of it what I can. But it'll be a little trip down memory lane for me.
So it's a familiar turf.
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you think is going to be the most difficult part, other than finishing?
I think the dark, the paddling through the night will be hard.
Have you done that before?
No.
All right, first time. Is this your first straight through ultra?
Yes.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're back again.
I am.
What's brought you back a second time?
The sunshine. Want to try and do it in the sun this time as opposed to the rain when we started last time.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it's just another good challenge. I when I came off the water last time, was a dead enthusiastic, but 5 minutes later, wanted to do it again. So let's give it a go and see what happens this time, because every time you do these endurance events, they always seem to be different. You know, different challenges, different good times. So let's see what happens. Be good.
Nice. All right. And you enjoy an ultra. Is that fair to say? You were at the Eliminator this summer.
I did. Yeah, I did the skedaddle a little bit earlier on. So I do. I just haven't got the speed for the shorter events really. So with these, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It's just finishing that's the goal really. And I like the camaraderie as well. Everyone wants everyone to finish. It's not like, oh, we've got to win at all costs. So I quite like that element of it as well.
All right. Well, good luck today. Really excited to see you along the course.
Thank you. I'm feeling pretty good. It's a beautiful day. The conditions seem like they're perfect, and yeah, I'm ready to go.
And you, what are you looking forward to about this?
So I'm really looking forward to, the whole challenge, and I guess that's a really good question. I'm dreading the night, but I'm also looking forward to the night. I'm looking to see how that goes, because it's the first time I'll have been doing anything like paddling in the dark for so long. I've been practicing a little bit on the Ohio River in Cincinnati, where I live, but this will be the first time I've actually put it into practice. So that'll be good.
All right. I find the night really nice to paddle through, so I think you'll have an enjoyable time.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
And you have done some major ultra challenges in the past. You've done 220 miles across England.
Yep.
But is this your first ultra race?
Yeah, This is the first time I've actually been racing. So obviously I do shorter races, and the longest race I do on an annual basis is the Chattajack race in Chattanooga, which I love. But this is, and I did the Great Glen race. I did that as a challenge as well, and that was a super time as well. Actually, that was during the dark as well, so I've done a little bit in the dark.
You did that one straight through? Or?
I did that one, yeah, it was just in one shot, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so second ultra, definitely.
Yeah, we'll count that one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Well, anything you're a little bit worried about other than the dark?
Just managing energy levels, hydration, just making sure that I keep on top of that. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know not to push myself too hard. I've made those mistakes in the past, so we'll see how it goes.
And did I hear that you have raised, because you do a diabetes fundraiser every year?
That's right.
And how much money have you raised for Diabetes UK?
Well, so far it's just over £10,000 at the moment, and I see every time I do one of these things, it seems to tick up a little bit. So thanks very much for the plug for Diabetes UK. So yeah, if anybody wants to donate, you go to justgiving.com. My name's Adrian Angel. Look for that page, and you can donate to Diabetes UK.
All right. Well, good luck today, Adrian.
Thanks very much.
again.
I am.
What's brought you back a second time?
The sunshine. Want to try and do it in the sun this time as opposed to the rain when we started last time.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it's just another good challenge. I when I came off the water last time was a dead enthusiastic, but 5 minutes later, yeah, wanted to do it again. So yeah, let's give it a go and see what happens this time, because every time you do these endurance events, they always seem to be different. You know, different challenges, different good times. So yeah, let's see what happens. Be good.
Nice. All right. And you enjoy an ultra? Is that fair to say? You were at the Eliminator this summer.
I did. Yeah, I did the skedaddle a little bit earlier on. So yeah, I do. I just haven't got the speed for the shorter events really. So with these, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It's just finishing that's the goal really. And I like the camaraderie as well. Everyone wants everyone to finish. You know, it's not like, oh, we've got to win at all costs. So yeah, I quite like that element of it as well.
All right. Well, good luck today. Really excited to see you along the course.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are just about to go live again. I have been off getting some interviews with racers at the start, which will be posted up shortly after this 2 p.m. start. Have had some issues with internet, which I apologize for. So we're going to see what we can do about that. So you can just leave in the comments if you are noticing issues with the internet. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a view here. So we've got some spectators lined up, and there is the start right behind me, which is the bridge. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the racers warming up. Okay, so this is Lechlade-upon-Thames. This is the start of the navigable Thames. And the racers today, it's going to be 200 kilometers. So on this start line, we have a real variety of craft. So as you can see here, we've got K2s out. We have a C2 right there. We've got K1s. So this is a mix of the non-stop cruise and the relay cruise. All the way All right, sorry about that. We have had some internet issues here today, so apologies for that. Thank you for your patience. So we're lining up at the start here. There are 4 minutes to the start, which you might be able to hear from the speakers in the background. We've got some great comments here. Thank you to everyone wishing good luck to the racers. Tim in Dubai. Tim, you'll have to come back next year. Francis Gilbert, yes, we are definitely rooting for Harry. Come on, RECC. So lots of amazing RECC. I think that's the Royal Engineers Canoe Club. I've just seen them put in. So everyone is lining up here. And we have some really, really top-end racers. So there's a little bit of a better view. So Thames 200 Ultra, 200 kilometers down the entire length of the Thames. I think there's like some variety in what these different paddlers today are aiming for and what they're hoping to achieve. So some of them are about to go off really, really fast. So definitely James Russell, who's the current European Marathon champion. He will go off fairly fast, but it shouldn't be his top end pace because he is doing the first 2 legs back to back, which is quite an undertaking. It's basically extra training for him before World Championships in a few weeks. We have the team No Boys Allowed. Oh, I've got a question. Do we know who's in the RECC boat for the first checkpoint? I believe I can find that out for you. So the Royal Engineers Canoe Club The first crew is Oscar Griffiths, Aaron Blinko, and the second one is William Hones, Kieran Pearson. Let me know if that sounds correct, George, who is rooting for RECC. So yeah, it's great. I was here live streaming last year, and we have a lot more boats on the start line this year, which is really exciting. That is Lizzie in the purple boat out front, Lizzie Broughton, who is, of course, an international marathon GB paddler. Right behind her in the blue striped boat, James Russell, Jimbo. We have some serious top talent here. There's Harry in the blue, black, and white boat with the orange cap. That is for Harry's fan club. We've got Green Machine in C2. I think we'll have some good canoe competition. And then the C4 Barbarians are in that 4-person canoe that you can see on the opposite side of the river. So we're hoping they might have some good competition. Here in the red boat, this is Will Short and Alex Worgan. So they medaled at the European Championships. They are juniors still, under 18s. And they are going to be racing against Jimbo. So that is why you are seeing them lined up right next to Jimbo. It's going to be a fight between these two crews for the first 30K. And we could see Lizzie trying to wash hang. She's a very strong paddler, but they are super quick. So we'll see how long she can hang on. That is Lizzie from the No Boys Allowed team.
Don't drift beyond that boat on your left.
All right, let's see if we can get a little bit closer to the start. So bear with me if we end up having some internet issues here. But I'm going to see if I can get to a slightly better position to watch the start itself.
Please stay upstream of the boat on your left.
There's going to be some incredibly tight action happening here. All right, let's see how close we can get.
Please drift down to the start.
All right, we should see them coming through here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo! They're off. Look at that. There they go. Last few relay teams. Oh, Mike Laverack, not like Lizzie to push the start. I chatted with Lizzie earlier, and let's see, I'll change the angle here. All right, so I spoke with Lizzie earlier. She was, I think, planning to take it fairly chilled is what it sounded like, but we'll see how that actually plays out. I'm sure she wants to hop on one of those front washes. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, Mike, you're in the comments. You're racing later. What do you think Lizzie's strategy is here? Is it going to be too hard for her to work to stay on one of the Jimbo or Alex and Will's wash? Let's see how she goes. It's an all women's team of basically like some of the fastest marathon paddlers in the country. And they are, seriously, really, really quick paddlers. It is going to be really tight. The top men's paddlers as well, really, really quick. And I think if those top two teams, if anything happens to them, definitely the all women's team is going to be right behind to try and catch them up. So it should be pretty exciting. The non-stop, so there should be some really good tight action between the top three guys in K1. So that is Harry Gilbert, Tom Diper, and Isaac Blackman. I've spoken to all of those guys, not Tom, but I spoke to Harry and Isaac beforehand. They were really going to try and kind of keep an easier pace off the start because they are going nonstop the full 200 kilometers. And I think that's going to be really hard for them, especially Isaac. I know he was like, I'm worried about the red mist coming through. So I think that's definitely going to be pretty tricky. Who else? We've got the nonstop doubles. We have got, maybe I can put up the start list for you actually, and I'll keep the audio going, but just so you can see the 2 p.m. start list. So yeah, this is a combination of the relay crews. So those are the relay crews you can see on the screen. Now, again, it's probably going to be between Richmond and Chelmsford up at the front. The first leg for them, so it's Will Short and Alex Worgan in K2 versus James Russell, Jimbo in K1. Richmond was putting some pressure on Will and Alex to perform here. They are, European champion marathon level paddlers, but they are still juniors. So it is not the easiest for them for sure. And then the Chelmsford, with Jimbo, he's going to be really quick. So after Jimbo completes the first leg, then we're going to get George Durden swapping in for Will and Alex. So at that point in Newbridge, it'll be James Russell, who will have gone probably pretty quick. He has to pace himself because it is 70K. He did tell me a few minutes ago that he is normally, it's about a 40K paddle for him on a Sunday, which is a pretty decent paddle. And he was like, this is only a little bit more than 20K more than that. I think he's technically 60 something. The first leg of the race is actually only 26.5 kilometers. So it's not as far as some of the other later legs, which get up to 37 kilometers. We also have some updates on the GPS tracking for the first start. So the first start went off at 10 a.m. And that was the stand-up paddleboarders and some of the slower K1 paddlers. So they have now passed Newbridge, which is the first checkpoint. In the lead is Mark Roberts. So he is a reformed rower. I did an interview with Mark earlier. If you hop back in the live stream, you can watch that interview. So he looked really strong. He was leading off the start, so as early as like the first sort of 100 meters. And we'll see, this is his first ultra. He's done some running ultras of about 50K, but this will definitely be his first and longest. And with Mark up front is Gary Johnson, also in K1. And then behind them is Tom Eames in K1, who is in third right now from that first start. Behind them, Daniel O'Halloran, who's a younger K1 paddler. Then we have the Team Tiger. So that is the only relay team to have gone off at the 10 a.m. start. And then we have got the two stand-up paddleboarders at the back of Adrian Angel and Jonathan Herbert. And I missed off the first two stand-up paddleboarders, I think, who are further up the course. Or further along the course, who've been making good progress, which is Chris Davison and Kevin Cohn. So those are your updates from the 10 a.m. start, which you can find on the GPS tracking too. We should have a good race between those first two guys especially. And again, looking at the start that we had here, the first start. So it was a huge number of paddlers on the start. Really, really good to see that number of paddlers. They spaced themselves out pretty well, I think. The conditions are really nice today. So it was sunnier earlier. We've got a little bit of cloud cover now that could be maybe contributing a little bit to internet issues. So apologies if you're experiencing that. But it's otherwise pretty perfect conditions. There is, I think, a very light breeze, but really nothing, nothing that you would say too much about. It's not very much. It shouldn't affect the paddlers at all. So what they'll be facing from here is really narrow, twisty sections of river. Lechlade is the start of the navigable Thames, which means this is the first part of the river that a canal boat can navigate along. Obviously, the boats that are out today, much smaller than canal boats. So most of them shouldn't have too much trouble with the narrow, twisty sections. We do have a C4 out, so a 4-person canoe, which could potentially have trouble, but it is a really experienced crew. I spoke with them earlier and they've said that they are used to, navigating these narrow, twisty rivers. They've been training, I think, on the Wear is what they said. And so I'm not too worried about them at this point in terms of just kind of the flow of the river. It could potentially affect how some of these how much they try and push the pace. So I was talking to some of the K1 paddlers beforehand, and they were saying, at this point in the river, because it doesn't open up very much and you're kind of constantly turning, it's really hard to gain much of an advantage on the next paddlers. So, you're in a race, but it's a 200K race, how much can you actually gain by sort of pushing the pace around a corner when you have another turn in the opposite direction, 100 meters ahead of you. So we could see things realistically, it'll have to string out a little bit from the start that we just saw because it is a fairly narrow section of river. Even at the start there, you saw it's not like everyone is in a line across. There's, everyone's kind of making room for each other. It should be good for wash hanging because, again, everyone's kind of pinched together and it's a bit narrow. So if you have, taken a good choice and started next to someone who you are hoping to wash hang, which is definitely what we saw out there on the start line, I think probably what Lizzie, Alex and Will and Jimbo are thinking about for sure, as well as some of the other paddlers. They'll be, trying to hop on a wash right now. The other part of this sort of first section of river, which is from here, the start in Lechlade to the first checkpoint in Newbridge, is that it is going to be a little bit tricky with the portages. So this is another thing we've heard from a lot of the racers, especially those who've been out scouting the course, that's going to be a bit difficult is a lot of the get-ins at the portages are really, really high. And so even for... I did a paddlecast preview episode with Billy Butler, who's well over 6 foot tall. And he said, even when he's raced this section of the river or paddled it when it was at lower levels, which is what we have here in August, even he was having trouble with the get-ups, right? And you have to actually use the ladders to climb out. So that could be tricky for a lot of the paddlers. And depending on the type of craft that they have, I think the C4 could have a tricky time of it. But they have done a little bit of practice and we will see how it goes. I think there's also going to be a lot of, we have this mass start, which makes it much more exciting to follow along and watch and easier for these teams to kind of hop on the wash if someone they're, close to in speed. But it means those first few portages at this narrow twisty section of the river, we could see some carnage there. So that will probably contribute to kind of spacing out the race a little bit more.
Cool.
So I think we are going to move on pretty soon to Abingdon and to Newbridge. So Newbridge is the first checkpoint. That is about 26.5 kilometers. And after that is Abingdon. So what we'll do is we are going to upload some of the racer interviews from before they started. We'll put those into the stream here so you can see those interviews and hear from the racers themselves, how they're feeling before the race. And then we will start up again in Newbridge. That'll be the first checkpoint. The other thing that you should definitely look out for at Newbridge as we see those racers come in is they have to do their first changeover for a relay team. And what that entails is mostly moving the GPS device from the paddler on the water to the paddler who's next up and picking up the next flag. And that can be, it's not super time consuming, but it is definitely a little bit of a sort of, not quite a kit change, but, moving the GPS down, new person, new boat, making sure everything is good to go. What we saw last year from these teams is that the top teams got this down really, really quickly. So if they fumbled a little bit on the first checkpoint, by the time they got to the second checkpoint, especially those who have support crews who are out helping them, they really, really nailed the changeovers. So what we might see at Newbridge is potentially still a little bit of fumbling. But if we see it there, I think, again, those top crews will have it sorted out by the next checkpoint in Abingdon. For the live stream, You can stay on this link for the next couple of hours while we hop over to Newbridge and stream the first checkpoint there, including those relay changeovers. Hopefully we'll also get a sense of how some of the non-stop paddlers are doing. We'll see how close together those top 3 K1 guys are, if they're staying next to each other, or if they have kind of hopped on different boats washes from the relay teams or the non-stop doubles, and maybe they've spread out a bit. It'll be interesting to see that. And then we'll also see how the relay teams are going and the non-stop doubles. The non-stop doubles is pretty interesting because looking at the start list, there is not a single non-stop doubles team that really stands out as being, head and shoulders above the rest of them. So I think we could see potentially some close racing between them, but it's really hard to say who is going to be out front there. So let's see how it goes. For everyone who's tuned in, if you want to, leave something in the comments, questions that you have about the race or about the paddlers, questions you want us to ask the relay teams in Newbridge, go ahead and leave your comments there, and we'll share those interviews shortly, and then we'll be back on commentary again in Newbridge. Thank you so much for tuning in. Champion here at the Thames 200 Ultra. What brought you to this race?
Well, it sits at quite a nice point in the year. Obviously, August bank holiday. Usually the sun's out. It's getting there. It's warm enough for a short sleeve, so I'm happy. I've got a few weeks until my Marathon Worlds event, which is sort of a big one, last one of the year for me. So it was a good opportunity to get some last-minute distance training in and make sure I can get around the 30k in Győr.
Well, and you have signed up to do more than just regular distance. So you are racing leg 1 and leg 2, which is going to be about 70?
It's going to be about 63.
Okay, 63 kilometres.
So I think that's just about in my remit. So usually on a Sunday I can sort of get through about 40 kilometres on the water. So it's just another 20 on top of that, okay. And then a little bit more is how I'm chunking it.
Was just a little 20k on the end.
More. Yeah.
Was this your idea? Was this your team's idea?
Yeah, I offered up the first 2 legs just because it's in the daylight and it doesn't sort of affect my sleep schedule too much, so I can fit it in pretty seamlessly. I think with some of the other legs it gets quite tough with obviously staying up quite late, going up early in the morning. And I thought maybe 1 leg wasn't quite enough, and the first leg's the shortest of all 6 legs, so I thought, well, maybe I double up and do 2.
Okay. And do you know who your competitors are? I don't want to give anything away, but I'm sure you know
I think
already.
I know, yeah. So I think Will and Morgan are in the K2, so hopefully I'll try and hang on to them until the checkpoint, and then I think it's over to George Durden. So I'll have a 2-hour head start on him, and then we'll have a race.
All right. And you are headed to Győr pretty soon. Are you looking forward to Marathon Worlds?
Yeah, I am. I think I'm going pretty well this year, but obviously there's so many top athletes of the racing that it's so unpredictable. If you get a move that goes your way, then suddenly you're on top of the world. If not, you're back in sort of 15th. So yeah, looking forward to getting out and racing again. It's always good fun.
Good. Well, thanks so much, and
Cheers.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, aren't we? Quite relaxed, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Yeah.
What was your motivation coming here today?
Ian, basically.
Yeah, it's his suggestion. I talked them all into it, to be fair.
I think he fancied the straight through, but wasn't fit enough.
What are your goals today?
Finish.
Not fall in. Not fall in.
Not fall in.
You're making us sound like choppers. No, I think we've got a time we want to try and aim for, haven't we? Yeah, so if we get down that.
What time is that?
17 and a half, somewhere, I reckon, maybe. If everyone sticks to the plan.
No miss out, hopefully.
What do you guys think is going to be the hardest part?
Some of the portages are quite big, aren't they? So,
I think getting back in the boat after having done 1 stint.
Yeah, I think having a few hours off and then trying to do another 30, 40k after relaxing for a bit probably sees up. But
we did a section on the Thames a couple of weeks ago, and it's very, very low. So the portages are extremely high. That's going to be one of our biggest challenges, I reckon. Yeah, getting in and out of the boat.
Well, you guys are a pretty tall team, so
Yeah.
That's hopefully a little bit of an advantage.
Age doesn't happen. Doesn't help.
Hopefully the second half will be easier though.
Second half might be easier.
When you get further down the Thames, they're a bit better, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And you've got some DW experience.
Yeah, Ian's done it once, Dan's done it.
I've done it a couple of times.
Cotton's done it. I tried and failed. Just thought I'd throw it out there for anyone else does. But, yeah.
Nice. Well, it sounds like
year.
Yep. Is this is your kickoff for next year?
Not at all. I'm focusing on 200 metres next year. So.
All right. Well, good luck, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Team Bradford. Reigning European champion here at the Thames 200 Ultra. What brought you to this race?
Well, it sits at quite a nice point in the year. Obviously, August bank holiday. Usually the sun's out. It's getting there. It's warm enough for a short sleeve, so I'm happy. I've got a few weeks until my Marathon Worlds event, which is sort of a big one, last one of the year for me. So it was a good opportunity to get some last-minute distance training in and make sure I can get around the 30k in Győr.
Well, and you have signed up to do more than just regular distance. So you are racing leg 1 and leg 2, which is going to be about 70?
It's going to be about 63.
Okay, 63 kilometres.
So I think that's just about in my remit. So usually on a Sunday I can sort of get through about 40 kilometres on the water. So it's just another 20 on top of that. Okay. And then a little bit more is how I'm chunking it.
Was just a little 20k on the end.
More. Yeah.
Was this your idea? Was this your team's idea?
Yeah, I offered up the first 2 legs just because it's in the daylight and it doesn't sort of affect my sleep schedule too much, so I can fit it in pretty seamlessly. I think with some of the other legs it gets quite tough with obviously staying up quite late, going up early in the morning. And I thought maybe 1 leg wasn't quite enough, and the first leg's the shortest of all 6 legs, so I thought, well, maybe I'd double up and do 2.
Okay. And do you know who your competitors are? I don't want to give anything away, but I'm sure you know
I think
already.
I know, yeah. So I think Will and Morgan are in the K2, so hopefully I'll try and hang on to them until the checkpoint, and then I think it's over to George Durden. So I'll have a 2-hour head start on him, and then we'll have a race.
All right. And you are headed to Győr pretty soon. Are you looking forward to Marathon Worlds?
Yeah, I am. I think I'm going pretty well this year, but obviously there's so many top athletes of the racing that it's so unpredictable. If you get a move that goes your way, then suddenly you're on top of the world. If not, you're back in sort of 15th. So yeah, looking forward to getting out and racing again. It's always good fun.
Good. Well, thanks so much, and
Cheers.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Again for a second time. What's the main draw?
It's a fun race. It's a fun race, and we're doing it in a big boat, so it'll be even more fun.
What do you?
Party boat.
It's the party boat. Was that why you decided on a C4?
We might not get past Reading.
Stop at Reading. Yeah, we're going to get stuck in the festival though.
Are you worried about the twisty turny sections up here at the top?
Well, no, we've been practicing in Wareham, so we're good.
All right.
So Bendy River's good for us.
Yeah, we've done lots of Bendy River practice.
And portage practice?
Not so much.
Okay, so that could be the tricky part.
Yeah.
Portaging with the C4 is a whole new level of excitement. Just to fit in the portage in the first place, getting it over the boulders and maneuvering it all over, it's going to be exciting, especially in the night when you can't see, and all the high or the tall portages where there's no water in the Thames. Yeah, it's going to be certainly not short of any challenge.
Well, what are you most looking forward to?
The finish.
The finish. All right. Okay.
I was going to say the flow.
What flow? What do you think about your competition? Green Machine and Devises Diggers?
They're not in C4s. They're not in.
You've got the boat advantage.
Considered to be our competition.
We want to be the first C4 to do the Thames.
Love it. Well, I expect that to be how this goes. So good luck. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling?
All right, aren't we? Quite relaxed, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, cool. Yeah.
What was your motivation coming here today?
Ian, basically.
Yeah, it's his suggestion.
I think
talked them all into it, to be fair.
I think he fancied the straight through, but wasn't fit enough.
What are your goals today?
Finish.
Not fall in. Not fall in.
Not fall in.
You're making us sound like choppers. No, I think we've got a time we want to try and... Yeah, so if we get down that...
What time is that?
17 and a half, somewhere, I reckon, maybe. If everyone sticks to the plan.
No miss out to police.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is going to be the hardest part?
Some of the portages are quite big, aren't they? So,
I think getting back in the boat after having done one stint.
Yeah, I think having a few hours off and then trying to do another 30, 40k after relaxing for a bit probably sees up. But
we did a section on the Thames a couple of weeks ago, and it's very, very low. So the portages are extremely high. That's going to be one of our biggest challenges, I reckon. Yeah, getting in and out of the boat.
Well, you guys are a pretty tall team, so
yeah.
That's hopefully a little bit of an advantage.
Age doesn't happen. Doesn't help.
Hopefully the second half will be easier though, because the portages are...
Second half might be easier.
When you get further down the Thames, they're a bit better, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, and you've got some DW experience.
Yeah, Ian's done it once, Dan's done it.
I've done it a couple of times.
Colin's done it. I tried and failed. Just thought I'd throw it out there for anyone else does. But, yeah.
Nice. Well, it sounds like
year.
Yep. Is this is your kickoff for next year?
Not at all. I'm focusing on 200 metres next year. So.
All right. Well, good luck, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Team Bradford. What's your motivation today?
That's a very difficult
well,
question.
Today and tomorrow. Yeah.
No, we're really excited for the race. We've trained hard. Our ultimate goal is to get to the finish line. And we're raising money for Myeloma UK. So if anybody wants to go and find our Just Giving page, feel free to come and donate some money for us.
We can't miss it with your vest on.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to about the race?
Enjoying it, I think. It's not thinking about the finish yet. It's just going down that river, enjoying our paddle, getting into our rhythm, and taking each stage as it comes. We based it on how do you eat an elephant, and it was one bite at a time. And so we've worked out each bite, and we'll celebrate each moment.
That's great. And how much endurance and ultra paddling have you guys done before this?
Though I'm the lightweight here, this is my third ultra marathon, and I'll hand over to Paul, who will...
Number 8 for me.
Number 8. So pretty handy. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, finished DW last year with somebody else in 2024, the flood year. So, yeah, we've got no flow today, so that's going to be a challenge in itself. But
a very different race, isn't it?
Very different. And very twisty and turny up the top here, but we're looking forward to seeing some parts of the river we haven't seen before. We've paddled from Pink Hill down, so we'll get to see a part of the river we haven't seen before. So hence what side we're getting out on the boat there, look, for the first 10 locks. So we're well prepared.
Nice. All right, well, good luck, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No boys allowed. How good is this team?
It's been really exciting to put together a team of many of the best women in the country, I think, across all sorts of different events and disciplines. We've got some brilliant international paddlers, past and present, and also some good kind of DW paddlers, and lots more. So really exciting to see that come together. I think the final few stages of the team were pitched at the Cellar, an international race, which is fun to see. So yeah.
Nice. And Katie, speaking of international races, is this a big training day for you? Will you be racing? How are you taking it?
To be honest, I'll probably just go on feel because I've been doing quite a lot of training that I am on the tired end of the spectrum right now. But you never know, at 4 a.m. I might suddenly have like a new lease of life. I will find out. Probably not, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But I will try and do the fastest I can, bear in mind the situation, for the team. Yeah.
Okay, and are you looking forward to Marathon Worlds in a few weeks?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll start tapering end of next week, so just like the final push at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be good fun.
Extra mileage. Well, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Raced with you here at the Thames 200 Ultra. You're doing the first leg, Team No Boys Allowed.
Yep.
What is your strategy? What you're willing to give away?
I mean, my personal strategy is probably just kind of like to make it to the end of the leg, but I think overall our strategy is just to have fun, everyone have a good, solid paddle, everyone's got slightly different aims, different things coming up next few weeks and months, so yeah, enjoy it, enjoy the night, and yeah, hopefully put together a nice race.
Okay, sounds good. Is there anything you're looking forward to?
Like I say, a nice day out for everyone. I think I haven't done a race for maybe like 3 years, so I'm looking forward to getting back out on the water again. Might not be looking forward to it so much in like the second half, but yeah, we're just excited to race, really excited to be here.
Okay, thanks Lizzie.
That's a very, very spicy start from the junior boys. Very, very strong start from them. Unsurprisingly, Lizzie up in the top mix as well. There's Isaac Blackman and Harry Gilbert and Tom Diapa sensibly sticking together and hopefully going to work together for a lot of the race. C4. And then last but not least, 105.
While our film crew is starting to move to the next checkpoint, we're going to just cut back here to some of the photos that we had earlier today in the start and some of the videos of the earlier start.
Third team relay. How are you guys feeling?
All right, aren't we? Quite relaxed, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, cool. Yeah.
What was your motivation coming here today?
Ian, basically.
Yeah, it's his suggestion.
I think
talked them all into it, to be fair.
I think he fancied the straight through, but wasn't fit enough.
What are your goals today?
Finish.
Not fall in. Not fall in.
Not fall in.
You're making us sound like choppers. No, I think we've got a time we want to try and aim for, haven't we? Yeah, so if we get down that.
What time is that?
17 and a half, somewhere, I reckon, maybe. If everyone sticks to the plan.
No miss out too, police.
What do you guys think is going to be the hardest part?
Some of the portages are quite big, aren't they? So,
I think getting back in the boat after having done one stint.
Yeah, I think having a few hours off and then trying to do another 30-40k after relaxing for a bit probably sees up. But
we did a section on the Thames a couple of weeks ago, and it's very, very low. So the portages are extremely high. That's going to be one of our biggest challenges, I reckon. Yeah, getting in and out of the boat.
Well, you guys are a pretty tall team, so that's hopefully a little bit of an advantage.
Age doesn't happen. Doesn't help.
Hopefully the second half will be easier though.
Second half might be easier.
When you get further down the Thames, they're a bit better, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, and you've got some DW experience.
Yeah, Ian's done it once, Dan's done it.
I've done it a couple of times.
Cotton's done it. I tried and failed. Just thought I'd throw it out there for anyone else does. But, yeah.
Nice. Well, it sounds like
year.
Yep. Is this is your kickoff for next year?
Not at all. I'm focusing on 200 metres next year. So.
All right. Well, good luck, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Team Bradford. C4 Barbarians. So a lot of you are back again for a second time. What's the main draw?
It's a fun race. It's a fun race, and we're doing it in a big boat, so it'll be even more fun.
What do you?
Party boat.
It's the party boat. Was that why you decided on a C4?
We might not get past Reading.
Might be stuck already.
Yeah, we're going to get stuck in the festival there.
Are you worried about the twisty turny sections up here at the top?
Well, no, we've been practicing in Wareham, so we're good.
All right.
Bendy River's good for us.
Yeah, we've done lots of Bendy River practice.
And portage practice?
Not so much.
Okay, so that could be the tricky part.
Yeah.
Portaging with the C4 is a whole new level of excitement. Just to fit in the portage in the first place, getting it over the boulders and maneuvering it all over, it's going to be exciting, especially in the night when you can't see, and all the high or the tall portages where there's no water in the Thames. Yeah, it's going to be certainly not short of any challenge.
Well, what are you most looking forward to?
The finish.
The finish. All right. Okay.
I was going to say the flow.
What flow? What do you think about your competition? Green Machine and Devises Diggers?
They're not in C4s.
They're not in.
You've got the
They
boat
are not considered
advantage.
to be our competition.
We want to be the first C4 to do the Thames.
Love it. Well, I expect that to be how this goes. So good luck. Thank you all so much.
Thank
you.
If you are just joining us now, we've recently finished up with the 2 p.m. start group here, and our film crew is moving on to see things at the first checkpoint. But let's take a look right now at the leaderboard for the 10 a.m. start, who've made it to the first checkpoint so far.
All right, James Russell, reigning European champion here at the Thames 200 Ultra. What brought you to this race?
Well, it sits at quite a nice point in the year. Obviously, August bank holiday. Usually the sun's out. It's getting there. It's warm enough for a short sleeve, so I'm happy. I've got a few weeks until my Marathon Worlds event, which is sort of a big one, last one of the year for me. So it was a good opportunity to get some last-minute distance training in and make sure I can get around the 30k in Győr.
Well, and you have signed up to do more than just regular distance. So you are racing leg 1 and leg 2, which is going to be about 70?
It's going to be about 63.
Okay, 63
So
kilometres.
I think that's just about in my remit. So usually on a Sunday I can sort of get through about 40 kilometres on the water. So it's just another 20 on top of that.
Okay.
And then a little bit more
And
is
was
how I'm
this-
chunking it.
Was just a little 20k
Yeah, just a
on
little
the
bit
end.
more. Yeah.
Was this your idea? Was this your team's idea?
Yeah, I offered up the first 2 legs just because it's in the daylight and it doesn't sort of affect my sleep schedule too much, so I can fit it in pretty seamlessly. I think with some of the other legs it gets quite tough with obviously staying up quite late, going up early in the morning. And I thought maybe 1 leg wasn't quite enough, and the first leg's the shortest of all 6 legs, so I thought, well, maybe I'd double up and do 2.
Okay. And do you know who your competitors are? I don't want to give anything away, but I'm sure you know
I think
already.
I know, yeah. So I think Will and Morgan are in the K2, so hopefully I'll try and hang on to them until the checkpoint, and then I think it's over to George Durden. So I'll have a 2-hour head start on him, and then we'll have a race.
All right. And you are headed to Győr pretty soon. Are you looking forward to Marathon Worlds?
Yeah, I am. I think I'm going pretty well this year, but obviously there's so many top athletes of the racing that it's so unpredictable. If you get a move that goes your way, then suddenly you're on top of the world. If not, you're back in sort of 15th. So yeah, looking forward to getting out and racing again. It's always good fun.
Good. Well, thanks so much, and
Cheers.
good luck.
Thank you.
Hello, we are live again from Newbridge. So, last year, Newbridge, this is the first checkpoint on the event. So the first start, everyone who started at 10 a.m. has sort of come and gone through Newbridge already. It's only about 26.5 kilometers into the race. And what we are expecting here is the first paddlers from the second start, so the main 2 p.m. start, who should be here soon. So right now, I'm just going to pull up the GPS to double check, but I believe it is James Russell in the lead. So we were expecting to see Jimbo, James Russell, who's the reigning European champion, up front with the junior boys crew of Will Short and Alex Morgan. And that is about what we have been seeing on the GPS. It looks like Jimbo might have a little bit of a lead. I've also had a look at the data from this checkpoint from last year. Oh, so here we go right now. This is the No Boys Allowed K2 of Sam Martin and Anushka Freeman. They are just going to do a little warm up and a boat check. I believe their crew is in about 5th position right now. So up near the front, and probably we've got Lizzie Wash hanging some of those top crews. So it looks like it is Jimbo in the lead right now. And we saw the, if you watched the start earlier, then you saw those boys go off really, really quick. And the fastest time through here last year was Chelmsford. So Jimbo is on the Chelmsford team this year, but it was at 3:58 that first team came through. It is currently 3:49. So an hour and 58 minutes last year. It seems reasonable to expect that Jimbo is probably going to beat last year's top team. He is the fastest man in Europe. That said, he has to pace himself for 70K. We'll see how well he's able to do that. I think, you know, he is a pro and probably he's going to be just fine with it. He should be pretty good at pacing himself. We'll also see how the junior boys have gone and how they are feeling at this stage. They only had to race this first 26.5 kilometer leg. So they should have kind of come out here pretty strong. So let's see, just looking. So that is boat 104 and 101, the Richmond and Chelmsford crews. Looks from the GPS like they are still right next to each other. It'd be interesting to see who comes in first. And because Jimbo is actually doing both legs, so the first and the second back-to-back, I don't think he is going to pull in here at all. I think we are just going to see him kind of steam on by and use this moment potentially to pass the rest of the Chelmsford crew who will be swapping out here. For the Chelmsford crew, it's going to be George Durden who is hopping on. Let's turn the camera. So there in the orange buoyancy aid is George Durden, ready to go. So you can see he is just waiting for his team. I believe the GPS trackers are on Velcro this year, which is pretty exciting. So I mentioned on the live stream earlier that we had there's some kind of faff that happens when you come in and you change over the team at this checkpoint, right? And it's the first one. It's where the teams are going to kind of test out their systems, see who's going to be good at changing over the GPS tracker. Maybe for some of those who are returners from last year, try and remember sort of what worked from last year and try to repeat that. So we will see how that goes. I think it's going to be pretty smooth for this first team, but I don't know if they'll be smooth enough to catch up with Jimbo. So, you know, George has got to be ready to put in a pretty big effort here. For updates in terms of the rest of the race, so from the 10 a.m. start, those boats, again, have already passed here, and they are getting closer to Abingdon, which is checkpoint 2. Mark Roberts is in the lead in K1. You should have seen my interview with him on the stream earlier. Gary Johnson in K1 is just behind Mark. And then we have Tom Eames, who is a little bit back. So Tom Eames is the third K1 right now. This is from the 10 a.m. start. We are expecting the top K1 paddlers to be okay. Here they come. So you're going to see them go past here in just a minute. It looks like those junior boys. Okay, so the junior boys, Will and Alex, are going all out right now.
Will, you come with me.
Jimbo's Jimbo on screen in a second. The boys have just changed over the tracker to George. George is now going to race the pace.
They've got a little house jump up
There they go. That is Jimbo, the European champ. There goes George. Okay. So only, what is that, about 100 meters? Maybe 100 meters behind. And Jimbo puts off a nice wash. I think that Jimbo is going to, I think George is going to catch Jimbo up there and get some nice wash hanging in. So, wow. First relay cruise in 3:53. So 5 minutes faster than last year. And we are only 26.5 kilometers in. You can see Will and Alex on the screen there, the top junior boys, European marathon champions, who are just looking like they worked hard out there. Looking like they worked hard. That is Alex talking about how high that first lock was. So that would be maybe a spot where Jimbo had a little bit of an advantage. It looks like really those two crews were absolutely neck and neck. And then I think Will and Alex put in a really big sprint to try to get to this checkpoint with a little bit of a lead on Jimbo so that George wouldn't have as much work to do catching him up. I think that was a pretty successful strategy because they did manage to put a little bit of space in there. Jimbo didn't try to stick with them. He's still, you know, he's out on a 60-something kilometer paddle, so he is not going to be too fast over a speedy sprint to get in here. So if you're just tuning in, that was the first crew who's just come in. Maybe we can get Will and Alex on the Will and Alex. Let's see if we can get Will and Alex on the live stream. Alex and Will, let's see. Can we do a quick chat with you guys? Really well done out there. I loved that little sprint that we got right at the end. How was that?
Yeah, it was tough. Jimbo's pretty smooth through the portages and stuff, so we were trying to attack on them early on, but soon realised that it wasn't an option to drop. So fast out of his boat, we just had couldn't match him.
Yeah.
We just pressed on and tried to make as big of a dent as we could on them. See what George can do. I think George will be able to stick in there. Will do well.
Yeah.
Hopefully after that, we'll put away.
Oh, that's great. It looked like you all just put in that sprint. Was that so that you could minimize the loss in time with the changeover?
More, but yeah, we thought we probably had another 2 minutes left. So we just basically just gave what we had left and tried to create a little gap so it's a little bit easier for George to get in his boat and get with it. So yeah.
Nice. And you've got all faith that George is gonna.
Yeah, I think George's gonna stick in there. He's fresh, so hopefully, and then we've got good K2s going out later. So I think we'll be okay. I think.
Okay, you're still in it to win it.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Really well done, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
Great job. Awesome. That is fantastic. So that is Team Richmond. Will Short, Alex Morgan, Junior European Team GB. They are headed to Győr, Hungary for Marathon World Championships in just a few weeks. They are some seriously quick paddlers, and I think to hear that from those guys about just how quick Jimbo is on the portages. I mean, that's amazing. These are, as you've been hearing, I think, from paddlers all day, these are some really challenging portages. They are really high. And the fact that like the two guys of that caliber that Will and Alex are, we're still having trouble keeping up with Jimbo through those portages. It really tells you just how quick Jimbo is, that he was able to put so much distance on them on those portages. Really impressive, great effort by Alex Morgan and Will Short there. So let's see who is going to be coming in next. And actually, I think we have got the time. So I said last year, the first team arrived in 1 hour and 58 minutes, the first relay team, which was Chelmsford. This year, it's Chelmsford again, but this time with James Russell, who has arrived at the first checkpoint at Newbridge in 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 46 seconds. So that is a pretty big, yeah, about 5-6 minutes faster than the fastest relay team last year. We saw that both of those relay teams have been strengthened. You can read about that more in the Paddle Daily preview article, just sort of who the different teams have added, how they've got more numbers out this year compared to last year for both Richmond and for Chelmsford. So it is not surprising to see them putting some extra speed in at this stage. It's going to be really exciting to see just how fast they can go down the entire course. The fastest time last year from the winners, which was Richmond, was 15 hours and 53 minutes. So I think we're going to see something faster than that. And there's very little flow on the Thames. So really the speeds that these guys are going at, incredibly impressive. Looking at the next two teams who we are expecting, it's going to be Bisham and Bradford. So those are the next two that are coming in. So two relay teams, Bisham and Bradford, and then I believe it is Lizzie Broughton with No Boys Allowed, NBA, who is behind them in 5th place. So good effort from Bisham and Bradford. We've got some good paddlers on those teams. I spoke with the Bradford team earlier, so you can look back in the live stream to see that interview with the Bradford boys. Apologies. Newbury Nutters have overtaken NBA. So the Newbury Nutters team, very exciting, have overtaken No Boys Allowed. That is going to be really interesting to see. We've got Newbury here. I think we'll probably speak with them in a bit. And let's check in on those 10 a.m. starters too. So everyone from the 10 a.m. start is doing well, which is great to see. They have been racing now for about 6 hours exactly. And we have a mix there of stand-up paddleboarders and one relay team and several nonstop solo K1 racers. So leading that group now, Mark Roberts and Gary Johnson. They are pretty well out in front of the rest of those 10 a.m. starters. So pretty impressive from Mark Roberts and Gary Johnson. Great to see them going together too. We're not sure exactly how close they are, but from the GPS, it looks like they're probably going down the river as a pair. So they are not too far off of reaching Abingdon fairly soon, which will be pretty exciting for them. And then hopefully they'll go well through the night and they'll end up finishing potentially before some of the fastest K1 paddlers. We're not sure if they're together. There might be about a 5 or 6 minute gap, which in the grand scheme of this, I think for the nonstop racers is not a huge gap. And then back from them, we have Tom Eames. So Tom Eames, 3rd K1 right now. And that is from the 10 a.m. start. So again, they will likely not be in contention for the top three or the win, although they could be if something happens with one of the top three guys at the in the 2 p.m. start. Let's see if we can see how they're doing. And Daniel O'Halloran is out there as well. He is just 18, so just old enough to race the nonstop solo. Pretty impressive, pretty exciting. And then behind him, we've got Paul Brandt. And then behind Paul is our first stand-up paddleboard racer, Chris Davison. So Chris is going well. Chris was paddling with Kevin Cohn for a while. Kevin flew out from Switzerland to do this race. Pretty exciting. He is a fairly experienced ultra paddler in stand-up paddleboard racing. He's done the SUP 11 cities, which is a great preparatory race for the Thames 200 Ultra and vice versa. That is in the Netherlands. It's about a similar distance, but very different kind of water. So it looks like at this point, Chris has put a pretty good distance between him and Kevin Cohn in second place up. Maybe, let's see, hard to say how much, but definitely a solid distance. And I kind of expect that distance to grow. We were thinking earlier that maybe Chris and Kevin would have a pretty good race and we could see the two of them fight it out for the win. Chris is pretty determined. I think he wants the win this year. He finished second last year behind Gavin Simmons. And he's a really solid, very strong, experienced ultra paddler. So, you know, I'm not really surprised to see Chris going so well so early. I think that lead could grow unless, you know, maybe potentially if Kevin is having an issue and he's able to resolve that and pick up his speed, he might catch Chris. And you know, it's an ultra marathon, like anything can happen. So looking beyond those SUPs and moving on to the 2 p.m. start. So just to recap, we have had the first two relay teams through here. So Chelmsford and Richmond came through at pretty much exactly the same time. And it looks like they are still together. So Will and Alex did the first leg and they put in a nice little sprint coming in here so that they would buy a little bit of time for George Durden to be able to catch back up to Jimbo's watch, since Jimbo was doing legs 1 and 2 back to back. It looks like George has probably managed to catch Jimbo and stay with him, hopefully without burning too much to put in too much of an effort there. And then, oh, I love this. The No Boys Allowed team over here is plotting about who might they get a wash from. And that tells you, you know, what are the kinds of conversations that these paddlers are having in the background. So they're looking at the GPS and figuring out who they're going to be able to wash hang. So they'll be coming in. It looks like they're in about 6th place right now, not too far from the Newbury Nutters. We are still waiting at Newbridge for the Bisham paddlers and the Bradford Biffos to come through. It looks like maybe Bisham has a little bit of a lead over Bradford. So we'll see when they come through here how close together they really are. Those are pretty strong crews. So those crews have experienced paddlers who've done DW, the Devizes to Westminster race, who've done other kind of ultra races. So the Bradford team, the first crew who's out there now is Luke Escott and James Weber. So Luke Escott attempted DW with his brother Tim this year, back in April, and unfortunately they were not able to make it. I think they got pulled off the course really close to the end when they weren't able to make some of those cutoff times, which is too bad for the Escotts. But I think Luke is back again. Interviewed him earlier, which you can watch on the stream. And he is racing now with James Webster. So they should be here in a few minutes. And they are paddling with Bisham paddlers, Luke Harding and Fraser Hallett. I think we had a Hallett in the comments earlier who was tuning in. So shout out to the Hallets. And it looks like they're pretty close together right now. So they are in 3rd and 4th place amongst the relay teams. So 3rd and 4th right now is Bisham and Bradford. Bisham is actually on the course. It's one of the checkpoints. So that could be nice, nice boost for those Bisham paddlers later on. Could be going past home turf at Bisham. And then behind those two, so that is your third and fourth relay teams. Fifth and sixth is the Newbury Nutters and the No Boys Allowed team. That No Boys Allowed team is Lizzie Broughton, who's taken the first leg, and the Newbury Nutters first leg was James Treadgold. So that's probably a pretty good matchup there between Lizzie and James. And James Treadgold is the Devizes to Westminster. Let's see, I've just found out that his title has been updated. I think he's sort of an honorary chair or vice chair or something now, but he has a role in the Devizes to Westminster organization. And so it's cool to see him and Paul Fielden as well, the DW race director. And then I think that Tom Sharp is a DW race director too. And all three of them are racing the Thames 200 Ultra. So it's pretty cool to see these two races really working well together. So behind the fifth and sixth place relay teams, we have got a little bit of a cluster further back. So we have the team of Meyer and Merritt, and they are a nonstop doubles team. So I had said that the nonstop doubles, it was hard to say, you know, which crew might be the leaders. A lot of those crews looked potentially well matched. It looks like we can now say that team number 54 of Russell Meyer and Christopher Merritt are in the lead. It looks like they have a pretty good lead too. So that's pretty exciting. Your nonstop doubles, seeing them in the mix with the fifth and sixth fastest relay crews, that is pretty impressive. I would say that says they've probably got a good bit of speed there. And then around the same point, so with crew number 54 of Meyer and Merritt, we have the first two K1 paddlers, which is Isaac Blackman and Tom Diaper. So those are that's a cluster of three nonstop paddlers there. I'm not sure how close together they are. They're kind of jumping around a bit. But that's pretty quick to see nonstop racers really not far off the pace of the first few relay teams. And I think that means that Harry Gilbert might be a little bit behind. It looks like he is a few minutes behind those leaders. So not too bad for Harry. I know he really wanted to pace himself. Harry came out to do the race last year and unfortunately had to pull out in Pangbourne, which is 100 kilometers in, the halfway point. He got there around, I think it was around midnight, and he ended up actually getting hypothermic. So Harry had to pull out. So I know he's back more focused on, you know, pacing himself carefully and finishing the race rather than kind of trying to push himself too hard. So we'll see how things go from here. Definitely don't count Harry out. I think again he's just focused on pacing himself. And between Tom Diaper and Isaac Blackman, let's see how it goes. I know Isaac was also worried about pacing himself, but Tom Diaper is a very experienced ultra paddler. He has, I believe, how many DW finishes? 4 senior DW finishes, including second place with Jim King in 2015. So we are about to have our next teams come in. So this is third and fourth place, which is Bradford and Bisham. So I believe this is Bisham coming in now with the crew of Luke Harding and Fraser Hallett. So let's see what we've got. All right. Should be here in a minute. Here comes Bisham. So third place relay crew, it looks like they are, I think it looks like they've got a nice lead. here ahead of Bradford. So
I think we realised after 2 weeks, thanks to the guys was oh, we're not obsessed about it.
here they are. All right, here we go, handing off the there we go. Okay. That is Bishop. Off they go. Pretty impressive. Very nice. Team 103. Bishop Paddlers. So that is Nick DeYoung heading off now in K1. Off he goes. Next one coming through. So that was 412. So we saw the leaders come through.
Because who's on that one?
What is it about 20 minutes? So it's about 20 minutes between the about 20 minutes between the teams 1 and 2 and then team 3 in the relay race right now. About 19, almost exactly 19 minutes.
Yeah.
So Bisham's time here was 2:11:45. 2 hours, 11 minutes, 45 seconds. Okay, and now we have got the next team coming in. So this is Bradford team of Luke Escott, James Webster, handing off to Ian Thelwell, Daniel Jones. Let's see if we can catch.
Well,
there we go. All right, that is Team Bradford.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, so they've got to come up, change over that GPS. They've completed the checkpoint now. And there's our K2 ready and waiting. It's a pretty efficient checkpoint. I'm not seeing too much struggling with the GPS handover this year. And let's see how they go. Yeah, that is a strong K2. That's a pretty good takeoff there, isn't it? Well done, guys. All right. So that was Bradford. Let's see if we can get some of the other paddlers in that. Okay, so next couple of teams, Newbury, no boys allowed.
Are we the next?
Yeah.
So, okay, should we line ourselves up?
Okay, it looks like the team No Boys Allowed is going to line up now. So that is Anishka Freeman and Sam Martin in K2. And the Newbury team should be ready soon as well. Do we have Newbury? Yeah? Let's hear who's up next for Newbury. Oh, we gotta watch out for, okay, here we go. No Boys Allowed. Anishka Freeman and Sam Martin getting ready to go. They warmed up earlier. So they should be ready to go soon, and then they'll be pretty close with Newbury. So Rebecca, you are on, which leg are you on later?
On the fourth leg.
Fourth leg, okay, for Newbury Nutters.
11:30, I think.
Around 11:30, okay. How are you feeling about your team's performance so far?
Good, we're in fifth place. Fifth, maybe fifth or sixth. Not sure, they're just coming down here.
There we go.
Yeah, so that.
Oh, and here's the, is this your Newbury team coming through? All right, so we're gonna have two crews changing over at kind of the same time right now, which is a bit exciting. See if we can get a different angle for you.
We'll have to go down on. Sorry. Then you grab it, go in.
So, okay, so they still have to come up the steps. You can see the steps here where they have got to come up and change out their GPS tracker. So they can't just go down and do everything on the pontoon. I think this is to help kind of keep people a little bit clear of the pontoon. So let's see a different angle. Here they come. Okay. So any minute now. We will also find out who's going to come through first, if it's going to be Newbridge or No Boys Allowed.
Yeah, it's James first. That's James.
That is James Treadgold. So Newbridge first. So that is Nishi and Sam backing off the pontoon a little bit. So Newbridge has space to go down. So there's our Newbridge K2 going down there. Oh, and right behind James is Lizzie Broughton. So in the orange buoy there, let's see if we can get a slightly better view for you. In the orange buoy, here we go, is James Treadgold. So he is a super experienced racer of DW, so much so that he is one of the DW race organizers and administrators. Here comes James, looking strong. Okay, and then we will have, all right, there we go. Lizzie right behind him. Lizzie Broughton, international marathon paddler. Hasn't been racing much recently, which she said in her interview earlier. Okay. That is the Newbridge team off now. That's your Newbridge K2. And I think we might see this crew here catch up. Okay, so off goes Newbridge. There they go. And now here is Lizzie changing over to Anishka Freeman. So they are just changing over the GPS there. There goes Nishi. Okay. And that is Sam Martin in the front and Nishi in the back. Both international GB paddlers. I think they're going to catch that Newbridge K2 pretty quick, but we'll see. It looks like they're just adjusting there. Okay, let's see who we can grab. That's pretty close between Newbridge and No Boys Allowed. I think we could see some jumping up and down. Lizzie, do you want to chat about how your leg went, or do you need to get some Gatorade?
I don't want to say it was disastrous, but it wasn't far off.
Okay, okay. Not your best race ever.
The start was perfect. So I was just cruising into the first portage with a K2. And then, yeah, I know they said the portages were high, but I wasn't really anticipating quite how high.
Yeah.
And then my boat was upside down and I was in the water.
Oh my God.
I didn't really know what to do. And then I couldn't lift my boat up, so I just paddled a bit full of water to the next portage. But then I couldn't lift it out of the water there either, so I was just flailing around for a bit.
Oh boy.
I think I was last at that point, but I suppose I got a bit better after that.
It must have, because you're definitely not last here.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Learning experience.
That was the long and short of it. All the best. So,
Maybe not your favorite stretch of the Thames.
I probably won't be rushing to do that again.
Yeah, yeah.
Slightly haunted by Jenny's word on the podcast, but like, why did we put Lizzie on there? What's he talking about? It's going to be fine. But yeah, it wasn't. So but we had fun.
Well done. Yeah. Did you and James paddle together a little bit at the end there?
No, I spent like 20k just looking at this little orange dot.
Oh no. So you were just catching him up.
Yeah.
Once you were through the portages. Well done. I think your next crew is probably going to have some speed with them.
Hopefully. Yep. You should do well.
Nice. Well, thanks, Lizzie. Really well done. We definitely heard that those portages were tricky, so that is confirmation from Lizzie Broughton, an exceptional portager, but probably better on beach and pontoon portages as the international marathon paddler that she is. These portages are incredibly high. There's Katie Brooks from the No Boys Allowed teams, who will be paddling later with. I think Katie is with Naris Hall later, but we will find out. And there we go. We've got some more paddlers waiting here. Let's see, maybe we can catch up with some of the upcoming teams. Green Machine. How's your team going so far?
Going okay. Holding the pace we thought they would, we think. And we'll see how they are when they get hit.
Okay.
And if we can carry on.
All right. Have you checked how they're doing against some of the other boats?
Yeah, so they're in the lead against the C4 Barbarians, which I think is the other Canadians.
And you've got the Devises Diggers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it looks like our guys and Devises, so our guys and the Barbarians are the ones pushing
the pace. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
quite close
Okay.
together.
We could see maybe the C4 could try and catch up later, but I'm sure you guys will have it under control. I'll catch you guys more.
When it gets deeper,
Yeah. Okay, we've got some more crews coming in here now. Thank you, Green Machine. They'll be in the canoe later. All right, let's see who we've got next. We have got a K2 coming in here. So I believe this is going to be a mix of... There we go. That's a good view, isn't it? That's a quick K1, isn't it? That is Isaac in K1 out front. He's moving really quick for a non-stopper. So he is pulling in for a support stop here. So Isaac Blackman, one of the non-stoppers, and there is our lead non-stop doubles team. So that's your first non-stop doubles, Russell Meyer and Christopher Merritt, and that is Tom Diaper. There he goes, and there's Isaac Blackman. Okay, wow, really, really close here. Let's get a little view of that. That is great. Okay, there you go. So that is your first non-stop racers. We have one K2 and two K1s. Henry is here with me now. Henry, what did you think about that?
So I'm just going to come in on Tom Diaper and the pit stop there. He didn't pull into the bank. He drifted on through. He threw his bottle at his support crew, who threw the full bottle back to him, and then off they went. So no stopping, very little slowing down.
I didn't even realize he had support. I was standing right here.
But I think everyone else has pulled in, changed, pulled out again. Whereas that was, here you go, Dad. There you go.
That was really
absolutely off the hook. Like wow.
Almost like he's done BW 4 times.
Yeah, but they
even more.
They haven't practiced that. We've got 2 more crews coming in. Well,
Okay.
this is Harry Gilbert.
Oh, here's Harry. All right, let's turn the camera back for you all to see Harry. So Harry Gilbert is right now in 3rd place. So he is the 3rd fastest nonstop solo. Coming in now, looks like he is wash hanging a K2. I think this is a relay K2. But let me just double check. Yeah, Chelmsford Really Average Paddlers, the winners for best team name. Look at that. That is a nice, smooth portage here. So they're going to have to change over their GPS. Going to get out of the way a little bit. That's Harry. You can see Harry getting his support stop now. A few extra seconds to make sure his hydration is swapped out. And it looks like he's going pretty well. I think he'll be happy if he can. Where is the Chelmsford? Yeah, we should have more Chelmsford paddlers. We should have Blackmore and Bunyan coming in. Okay. So Harry Gilbert, currently in 3rd position, is K1. Just making sure that he has drunk and ate enough. And I can see another boat coming in the distance. Having a little bit of issue with. Okay. Here's another K2 coming down. There goes Harry. Okay. Okay, and here is a K2 ready to go. And that's the Chelmsford team. I think that maybe that's the same. Double check which Chelmsford crew is going in now. Okay. All right. It is busy down here on the pontoon. Very, very busy. This is a tricky, I think Newbridge is the most, wow, that was some maneuvering. That was some very impressive maneuvering. Okay, so Royal Engineers coming off now and doing their swap to the next crew. That's Royal Engineers. So Royal Engineers in that red boat right there, just about to push off. And then Chelmsford, really average paddlers who are, there we go. Okay, so Royal Engineers. So Royal Engineers had a faster stop over there. The Chelmsford team looked like they maybe weren't totally ready for that swap. And we've got Royal Engineers Canoe Club out front a little bit. We had someone from rooting for RECC in the comments earlier. So RECC viewers, that was your team. That was your swap over. It is Fast and Furious here in Newbridge. So this is the one of the busiest stops on the race. I think Abingdon is going to be pretty fast and furious as well because we're going to get some of those 10 a.m. starters as well. But for now, let's see which crew this is coming in. So we are in Newbridge. First checkpoint on the Thames 200 Ultra. And we can also maybe do a little bit of a check-in on how the front teams are doing. See if Jimbo is still keeping the pace that he was at earlier. Yeah, it looks favored all the way up at the front. They passed here about 30 to 40 minutes ago. So this crew coming in here, there's another one just behind them. This is Centurions. So Clark and Fuchs, and there we go. There goes Paul Fielden.
Hold on.
So Fielden Roberts going in now. Oh, they've got to change the tracker.
Paul! You haven't got a tracker.
All right. Yeah, so first checkpoint, a little bit of practice changing out the trackers for Team Centurions. And let's see, I think they are going to be able to put it and get out the way pretty quick. This is a tricky checkpoint. I mean, all of these relay crews, it's interesting because you kind of have to like wait and then go. There they go. All right.
LPS.
Looking good. Fielden and Roberts. Team Centurions. Okay. Next crew has just arrived. Oh, here we go. This is another nonstop. So I think this is our second nonstop doubles crew. So that is Mike and Karina. Nonstop doubles. How are you all feeling? Feeling good? Amazing. Looking good. So Karina has just started learning to paddle over the last few months. Look at that. Almost like she's got a good teacher. That is really impressive. Very, very impressive work from Mike and Karina. I had a great chat with Mike, which you can listen to on Paddlecast, which is also on the Paddler Media YouTube channel. Hopefully you're already subscribed to that so you can see it easily. And I think they looked great. Henry, what do you think? I mean, Mike and Karina, like, that was, oh gosh, okay. Sorry, I got excited about the location and I'm hearing that the coverage has gotten a bit spotty. So I'm gonna try to move elsewhere and still get, I might have to go back to the angle I was at earlier, which is, I think
you want to
not quite as good of an angle, but at least maybe slightly better internet. So we'll try this. So I was really impressed by Mike and Karina there. I had a feeling that they could be pretty far up in the nonstop doubles category. Mike is the defending champion from last year, but that was with his sister, Sam Rees-Clark, who is currently officially the fastest female marathon paddler in the country. So Sam is a really, really good paddler. And she and Mike just kind of tore up the whole field. Karina literally only been paddling for a few months, and she and Mike are still up there. I thought Karina, it looked like she had a pretty nice technique, especially for someone who's so new to paddling. And it looks like the kind of technique that will get her through 200 kilometers, which is exactly what she needs. And I think that's what Mike said that they've been focusing on and training for over the last few months. So hugely impressive. And for anyone who's wondering, you know, can I do this? Am I, you know, fit enough? Am I good at kayaking enough to see people kind of take a really thoughtful, determined approach to it and then put in performances like we're seeing so far? I hope they're able to keep it up. I know, yeah, they have been struggling a little bit, I think, with injuries in the boat. It's a different boat than Mike is used to paddling. And of course, Karina is new to paddling, so she will have been developing a lot of new muscles in places probably she didn't realize she had muscles before, which is a frequent experience for new paddlers. But yeah, they were looking really good out there. So second place nonstop doubles, and that first place nonstop doubles was with the top K1 guys. Okay, we have got our next crew coming in now.
You outrun to me, you turn your back to me.
So here we go. Red Thunder, Winstanley and Crofts to Westall. We've got lots of family teams out here. Okay, there we go. Nice changeover from Red Thunder.
Go on, guys. You got this.
Really smooth. Great seeing teams who have such smooth changeovers. And I think that looks like a fast crew going off there for Red Thunder. So they could do really well on this leg. Let's see. This is this team Red Thunder? Yeah. Yeah. How was your leg? What was your name? Which I'm Hannah. Hannah Crofts, and you were paddling with Richard Winstanley. Hello. So how was that leg for you?
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed it actually. Once we settled into it. Yeah. The start was a bit interesting.
I've never done a race before. So that was quite bumpy for me.
This is your first race ever. That's quite a way to start it. That was a pretty quick start too. There was a lot of really fast boats.
Yeah.
What was your approach there?
We knew we weren't going to be with the quick boats, so it was kind of hang back and try not to get into too much trouble. Yeah.
Clearly it worked.
It kind of worked okay, yeah.
Are things going about how you expected so far?
Yeah, I had some issues with the rudder. It was the rudder wires came loose quite early on, so it was a bit interesting trying to steer. I had to move the tiller bar a long way each way to do anything, so it was a bit uncomfortable. But
yeah,
it was quicker to carry on than stop.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Well, you've made it. Very nice. And so, Hannah, first race ever?
Yes.
Wow. So, what do you think? What's your take?
Ask me in a little while.
Okay. Yeah. Catch your breath. Think about it.
After two portages, I'd relaxed, and then I quite enjoyed it.
That's pretty good, really. That's pretty good. I mean, those portages. I hear those portages are tough. Did you have a hard time with it, or were you all able to? Yeah.
Some of them were quite high. It's quite long drop for you, wasn't it?
Last one was quite awkward because manoeuvring the boat was quite hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like posts in the way, and you've got to lift it over the railings as well. So.
Try not to drop it. Yeah. Nice. Are you all racing again later, or are you done now?
I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah,
well done. Well done.
The rest of the team now taking
Celebrate, support the rest of the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's on the water for you now?
So Matt and Henry Westall have just set off. So Henry's 14 and he's paddling with his dad. So yeah, they're a really strong crew. So yeah,
that's amazing. They looked good pushing off. So
they did.
Cool. Well, well done. Great job. Congratulations. And you can relax now and hopefully do some more racing in the future, Hannah. We'll give you some time to think about it, though. Thank you so much, Team Red Thunder. That is pretty cool. Hannah's first race ever, and she has come out to do the Thames 200 Ultra. I am just hugely impressed. Yeah, and I mean, similar to Karina's first race ever. I think seeing teams come out here, it is not an easy race to get started with paddling, but there are a lot of aspects to it that make it easier and more accessible than a lot of other races out there. So yeah, pretty impressive. Let's see. So we have seen, I think the leaders in all categories have passed through now because we've seen the relay leaders, the K1 nonstop, and the nonstop doubles all pass through. Pretty exciting. I think we are probably due to head to Abingdon pretty soon. Abingdon, I think, is going to be a pretty good spot to tune into the stream. We'll get some really nice views of people coming through there. And hopefully we get enough sun to get some good sunset pictures and footage. So if there's no other questions or comments from anyone, I think we are going to close out the stream here. Yeah, so there's still 11 more boats to come through here. And what we might end up doing is catching some of those in the C4 cruise, actually. So I said we'd seen all the leaders. I'm missing the C4 cruise. So that's Nick Onley from Green Machine, who is on the pontoon right now. Green Machine, this crew, a lot of them just recently went out and won the Yukon River Quest, which was a really big deal. And they had some tough competition in C2 there. Really impressive. The race ended up getting cut off short. They think that might have been to their advantage as a crew because they were in a C6, so a 6-person canoe. We spoke about it on a previous Paddlecast episodes. If you go back to some of the old Paddlecast episodes and search for Yukon River Quest, you can hear more about that, including hearing directly from Tor Harley, who is here. We saw him on camera earlier with Green Machine, and he is racing later with Dan Finlayson. So Green Machine just waiting here. But I think with that, we are going to close this one out. We are on a new link for the next stream. So if you are on YouTube, just go to the Paddler Media page and click on stream 2. And we will see you there in Abingdon. Thanks so much for tuning in.